News by another socialist challenger, this time in Colorado, a week after two socialist candidates defeated two incumbent House Democrats in New York.
Democrats in Denver vote for change, nominating Democratic socialist Maylot Quiros for the U.S. House seat held by Diana DeGette, elected in 1996, the year before Quiros was born.
We won tonight, but this is about something so much bigger than this moment, than one moment. This is a movement.
She's an attorney raised in Denver. Her parents came to the U.S. from Ethiopia when she was a baby. She wants to abolish ICE and pass universal health care.
That's Fox's Chris Foster. Quiros expected to win in November, facing Republican Christy Peterson in a very heavily Democratic district. Another socialist lost a statewide race in Colorado. Julie Gonzalez lost to her challenge trying to unseat Democratic Senator John Hickenlooper. A ship has run aground in the Strait of Hormuz, taking a route not approved by Iran, which keeps trying to control that shipping lane. As U.S. talks continue today in Qatar through a mediator, Vice President Vance tells Fox.
I actually think that the United States is in a great position, however the negotiation ultimately shakes out.
The Wall Street Journal reports the Trump administration is still considering the possibility of military action if talks fail. The Journal reports the conversations have centered on whether the U.S. should abandon negotiations and resume full-scale attacks on Iran, the officials said, a move some of them describe as finishing the job. While not making a final decision, Trump has told aides he believes another round of full-scale attacks could derail diplomacy and hurt Washington's chances of ultimately dismantling Iran's nuclear program.
Fox's Trey Yingst in Tel Aviv. A lot of Americans need the AC for the next few days. Warnings about triple-digit heat up from Louisiana to Michigan, Maryland to Maine.
We get it. It's summer. It's supposed to be hot. But this is something on a totally different level. The highest heat that we have felt in decades for spots across the Northeast.
Britta Merwin, America's listening to Fox News.
No one gives you more accurate weather more often than News Talk KZRG. That heat advisory still hanging on through at least 9 o'clock on Friday night. Heading for a high of 92. Your complete forecast with KZRG meteorologist Terry Smith. Following sports, that'll be at 6:08. 73 in Neosho. Sun is coming up at 75 in Pittsburgh, 76 in Galena, 76 in Joplin. FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310. And on your smart speaker, News Talk, KZRG. A Joplin teenager charged with 3 counts of negligent homicide.
It was October of 2024. Now 19-year-old Jonathan Spencer was behind the wheel of a speeding car that went off of Highway 10 between Miami and Seneca and overturned several times. Now Spencer's accused of being responsible for the deaths of his passengers, 16-year-old Isaac Dunn, 17-year-old Chance Milton, and 18-year-old Brent Taylor. Those charges against Spencer filed this past week. I'm Cy Albright. You saw KZRG.
More than 18 years in prison await a former Southeast Kansas law enforcement officer. 25-year-old Garrett Gaiasso of Baxter Springs admitted that he committed explicit crimes against a 16-year-old girl in Massachusetts that he had met online. Gaiasso was a sheriff's deputy in Cherokee County when he first started talking to the teen. He then got promoted and began investigating cyber crimes against children, all while still communicating with this underage girl.
Ending alien secrecy, Southwest Missouri Congressman Eric Burleson offered up his amendment to the House Rules Committee.
For too long, records concerning UAPs have been scattered across agencies, shielded by contractors, or lost to time. The president has changed this. He has championed historic progress toward genuine disclosure, declassification, and transparency. Congress needs to support those measures now.
But just hours later, that committee decided not to include it in this year's defense spending bill. If you see news, text us at 417-782-1310. Sunshine 76 604 News Talk KZRG.
Some good news for farmers, especially corn farmers in the four-state area. President Donald Trump has signed an executive order temporarily suspending the duty on phosphate fertilizer imports from Morocco. That providing much-needed relief to farmers facing some of the highest fertilizer costs in decades. Now, why is Morocco being singled out? Well, Morocco, as it turns out, holds roughly 70% of the world's phosphate reserves. You can get all the details inside the KZRG app.
Independence Day, just a few days away, and that means fireworks. But sometimes fireworks also means fires. Dustin Luno of the Joplin Fire Department says one thing you don't want to do is sweep up spent fireworks and put them in a trash can inside your house.
I would challenge you to, pull all your spent fireworks into a pile and, leave it in a nice spot on your gravel drive or your driveway or even at the curb.
How did the Cardinals do last night? Joe Morgan has the answer.
A big night for the Redbirds in Atlanta. Nathan Church launched a crucial 3-run blast.
The pitch to Church is hit high and deep to right field. That one is deep. That one is gone. A 3-run homer for Nathan Church.
Nelson Valquez tacked on a solo shot, and Matthew Liberatore gave him 5 strong innings on the bump. It all added up to a 5-3 Cardinals victory over the National League East leading Braves. St. Louis looked to keep the momentum rolling in Game 2 tonight. First pitch is locked in for 6:15. Meanwhile, Junior Caminero is absolutely locked in for Tampa Bay. The Rays slugger homered for the 5th straight game last night, a 3-run rocket that fueled a massive 6-run second inning. The Rays never looked back, crushing the Kansas City Royals 10-4. Game 2 of that series gets underway tonight at 6:40. Sports is brought to you by Hickman Lawn and Landscape. For professional lawn and landscape solutions in Webb City and Joplin, choose the experts at Hickman Lawn and Landscape. Visit hickmanlawns.com. And that's a look at sports. I'm Joe Morgan for News Talk KZRG.
It's free at your app store. Download the Zimmer Storm Center app today. I'm Steve Scott.
And I'm Ted Pahorkes.
Next news at 6:30. Breaking news as it happens. No one gives you more accurate weather more often than News Talk KZRG. Now, KZRG meteorologist Terry Smith.
Here is your KZRG forecast. No signs of the heat and humidity easing up. Heat advisory until Friday evening. 92 today, heat index 100. I'm meteorologist Terry Smith in the KZRG Storm Center.
Weather's the service of Buffalo Run Casino. This 4th of July, come enjoy live music from Big Smitty, food trucks, family-friendly activities, a military flyover, and the largest fireworks show in the area. Let the good times run at Buffalo Run Casino.
No rain on the KZRG Storm Tracker radar this morning. Sun is on the rise. It is 73 in Neosho, 75 in Pittsburgh, 76 in Baxter Springs, 76 in Joplin. News Talk KZRG with 100 weather updates every 24 hours. KZRG News Time going on 6:08.
Here are the facts about State Senator Jill Carter. Fact: in the state Senate, Jill Carter is consistently siding against Missouri parents, choosing radical liberal unions instead. Fact: Senator Jill Carter joined every single Democrat to vote against the Parents' Bill of Rights, blocking transparency and keeping parents in the dark about what's being taught in the classroom. Fact: Senator Jill Carter voted to allow radical ideologies to be taught in public schools. Fact: when it came time to actually pass the bill that delivered President Trump's school choice agenda, protections for homeschool families, better pay for teachers, and increased funding for public schools, Senator Jill Carter walked away. Stack the facts up, and it's clear to see that Senator Jill Carter isn't fighting for the issues that matter most to us.
Call State Senator Jill Carter and tell her to stop voting against Missouri parents and President Trump's agenda. 573-751-2173. Paid for by American Federation for Children, Inc.
All right, kids, brace yourselves. This year, your old man is putting on the greatest 4th of July fireworks show this town has ever seen.
Dad, no. Please don't.
Come on, I've got smoke bombs, sparklers, this thing called a tiny turtle fountain.
Not the tiny turtle fountain again. Dad, we went inside before it was even over.
Well, this year, I've got 2 tiny turtle fountains.
Gee, Dad, save some excitement for the rest of us, would you?
Fine. Where would you get your fireworks?
Big Charlie's. Obviously.
Big Charlie's.
Huge selection. Better prices. Bigger mortars. Bigger everything.
Bigger than 2 tiny turtle fountains?
Dad!
Don't be the tiny turtle fountain guy. Get to Big Charlie's Fireworks and load up on enough fireworks to really impress your family. The biggest store with the biggest selection and the biggest savings. Big Charlie's on East 32nd Street across from Flying J. Big Charlie's Fireworks.
Good morning, everybody. Monica.
Morning. Hello, Monica.
Good morning to you, Monica. Oh, sorry. Let me do it properly for you, Monica. Morning. I don't have the hat. Morning. Do you tip
Hi,
the hat?
Sarisa.
Do you tip the hat for morning or do you flick it up? Morning.
I don't know.
Morning.
I think you
don't go
it.
down?
Yeah, I think
Monica, do you go down or up? Let me know. Sarisa's here as well. Good morning, Sarisa.
One of the root causes of pain.
It's not a quick fix. It's not a temporary mask. It works from the inside out at the source. Relief Factor, created so people could get back to living life on their own terms, walking, working, exercising, enjoy the moments that matter. This year, as we celebrate 250 years of American independence, take a stand for your own freedom. To commemorate, they're offering a special patriotic price, just $17.76. Declare your independence from pain and take control. $17.76. 3-week quick start, ready for you right now. Visit relieffactor.com, 800-4RELIEF.
News, weather, politics. Live from the Downstream Casino Resort Studio. News Talk KZRG. Depend on it. From Studio 1Z, with the latest news, commentary, and weather, it's the KZRG Morning News Watch on News Talk KZRG.
We have reached the halfway point of the week. Unfortunately,
are you sure?
It's Wednesday.
Yeah, but the holiday for a lot of people starts on Friday.
Oh my gosh,
so we might be a little bit over halfway.
We are past the halfway point of the week, Ted Bojorquez.
Steve Scott.
The bad news, though, is we are well past the comfort point weather-wise. It is hot.
Yes, definitely. We've got a heat advisory in effect until at least 9 o'clock on Friday night. Sunny and hot, 92 today, 74 tonight, mostly clear, 93 and hot tomorrow. Partly cloudy tomorrow night and 75. Then on Friday, the 3rd, which a lot of people get off work so they can go and celebrate the 4th on the 3rd. Hopefully not with the 5th. High of 93. And again, it's going to be hot at least all the way through 9 o'clock on Friday night. But I looked ahead on Saturday on Independence Day, and it's already going to be 94. I have a strong suspicion at some point they might extend that heat advisory at least one more day.
Yeah, it's very likely at this point.
Yeah, and by the way, we're going to be talking about this weather with KZRG meteorologist Terry Smith. That'll be at 7:25.
She's back?
For 3 days this week, at least 2.
Look at that.
Two or 3.
Terry Smith will be here at 7:25. Coming up at 8:10 this morning, Missouri State Highway Patrol's Corporal Sam Carpenter. We're going to be talking to him about holiday travel and drinking while driving, the do's and don'ts of drinking and driving. And I'll give you a hint, it's a whole heck of a lot of don'ts. But we'll be getting that info at 8:10 with Missouri State Highway Patrol's Corporal Sam Carpenter. If you have any questions for Corporal Sam Carpenter, feel free to text us at 417-782-1310 or leave us an open mic message. Any questions at all you have for him, including, hey, man, why'd you give me a ticket last week? If you have that question, we'll ask him. Just give us your...
I'm sure he could tell.
I know.
If he
Just give
was
us
the
your
one
name,
that stopped the vehicle.
Your name, first and last, your social security number, your address, the
your
maiden name of
child.
your mother. Yeah, we'll take your firstborn child. I don't know. What are we going to do with a firstborn child, Steve?
I have no idea, but that's something they used to always say.
You can keep that. We don't want that. But in any case, 417-782-1310, that's the number to text. Hey, speaking of roadways, go ahead and hit the button, Steve. Your favorite button.
My favorite button?
Yep. There it is. Some more road work starting on Monday. This is This is the third piece of road work that is going to be kicking off next Monday in the 4 states area. This one is going to be on Missouri Route 43 at the Spring River Bridge north of Joplin. This bridge is going to close on Monday for rehabilitation. They're redoing the bridge. Now, this is pretty far out there. It's pretty far north. It's north of Joplin. It's north of Webb City. Heck, it's even north of Oronogo. It's way out there. You might cross it if you're heading to Nevada, Missouri.
Or Bernal.
Or Bernal.
Or Nashville, Missouri.
Or Nashville. I know a lot of people go to Nashville, Missouri, mostly because they get confused as to what Nashville is.
Yeah.
I know with all the foreigners, all of the Europeans that are in town as a result of the FIFA World Cup, they go, oh my gosh, Missouri has Kansas City and the famed Nashville?
What?
We got to go check it out, not knowing that they're in the wrong Midwest state.
Yes.
Nashville, Tennessee.
No, there is Nashville, but it's Missouri, and there's also one in Tennessee.
I know, but usually...
The one in Tennessee is where all the big stuff is.
They're going to get confused. I just know it.
Big time.
The same way they're going to go, oh my gosh, Pittsburgh with all the steel mills is also it's in Kansas, is in the Midwest. I had no clue.
The home of the Steelers?
What? That's crazy. And they're going to get that wrong too. Point is, it's way out there. You might go across that bridge if you're heading out that way. So I know a lot of you might not ever see this, but just so you know, that bridge will be closed starting Monday. Now, they're going to be...
There's a lot of people that travel from, like, Joplin to Nevada, instead of going up I-49, they'll go up that Highway 43. So they're not going to be able to do that for a while.
No, not a little while. KZRG News Time 6:15, they're redoing the full bridge. So all lanes on that bridge are going to be closed during the project because it's a bridge. They can't close half of the bridge and rebuild the other half. You know what I mean?
Not unless you have a jump ramp.
That would be pretty sweet, actually. Sort of GTA 6 it a little bit.
Sure.
So just keep that in mind. Drivers will be directed along a signed detour using Route 43, Missouri Route 96, Missouri Route 171, and Jasper County Route M. So there are going to be signed detours. You're not just going to be left to your own devices. But anyway, details on this story and more can be found at newstalkkzrg.com. Another story that we have for you this morning has to do with Kansas's fire code. Yeah, you want to start talking some real interesting, earth-shattering news. Here it is. The 4th of July is coming up this weekend. A lot of people are going to be popping off at the mouth, popping off with the fireworks. Sorry, I was thinking about Steve. He was real sassy to me this morning.
What?
Kansas Governor Laura Kelly established the Governor's Uniform Fire Code Task Force. Now, this task force is charged with updating Kansas's fire code to align with modern, nationally recognized safety standards that provide more advanced and robust safety measures. And this is coming at a good time because, again, 4th of July is this weekend. A lot of room for potential fires. I guess technically a better time to have done this was 3 years ago. But hey, better late than never, right?
Yeah, that's very, very true. I mean, what's more important, celebrating America 250 and lighting off explosives in your hands and throwing them?
Listen, that's how America was founded, gosh darn it.
That's right.
And that's how we celebrate, by setting explosives on fire and then throwing them out into a field. What else was the Revolutionary War other than?
That's right.
That's all it was.
Go for it.
So, in a written statement, Kansas Governor Laura Kelly, she said, quote, Kansas's current fire code is outdated and does not take into account modern building materials, construction methods, and fire protection technologies. Creating this task force is essential to establish new fire codes that uphold high safety standards for facilities across our state, end quote. Now, I'm sure you're thinking to yourself, and that is, okay, well, how much has changed? Fire's been fire since, the dawn of fire. What needs to be updated exactly? Well, number one, there's new theories and new practices for putting out fires.
Sure.
That's number one. And number two, and we've spoken to the Joplin Fire Department on this show many a time about this very thing, modern building materials has completely changed the name of the game when it comes to fires.
That is very true.
A lot of our stuff is much more flammable. A lot of our couches, are the drywall in our houses, the things our cars are made out of, are much more flammable than they have been in the past. They burn at a higher temperature than they have in the past, and they burn at a faster rate than they have in the past.
That's true.
I believe this was back in the day, if there was a house fire, you had 5, 6, 7 minutes to get out of your home.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. Now you have about 2 minutes to get out of your home before you're basically Denzel Washington. That's Gen Z slang for you're cooked.
Oh.
It's over.
I didn't know he was cooked.
It's Denzel Washington, one of the finest American actors.
Yeah.
If you were to say you're done, that means it's over for you. Game over, right?
Sure.
So people say Dunzel Washington instead of Denzel Washington.
Oh.
Little insight on some internet culture there for you, Steve.
It's pretty bad when you have to explain it.
No, that just means you're a little behind on the time, Steve, but that's okay.
Oh,
I know
sure.
Steve isn't perusing the Reddit and 4chan moderation boards as yours
No,
truly
I'm into green it
is.
instead of Reddit. Yeah, at least it got a reaction.
Yeah, Steve's standards are so low. He's like, as long as somebody interacts with me, I don't care if it's negative or not. My goodness. So anyway, Kansas, they're going to be updating that, which is cool. We'll see what that goes into and how that turns out, and we'll let you know. KZRG News Time, 6:20.
And now, KZRG's Big Three on News Talk KZRG.
No Number 3.
They are calling her the sole survivor. Republican Representative Lauren Boebert snagged the Republican Boebert.
Why'd you say Boebert?
Long day. You just handed it to me. I didn't get to proofread.
Long day.
Representative
It is
Lorraine
6:20 in the
Boebert
morning.
snagged the Republican primary win after running unopposed. She's the only Republican firebrand to have highly publicized disagreements with President Trump and make it out politically unscathed.
Number 2.
84-year-old Nancy Guthrie, the mother of Today's Show co-host Savannah Guthrie, still missing. Now, the FBI claims that the 3 highly publicized ransom notes they received from Nancy's alleged kidnappers were all fake. A second law enforcement source familiar with the matter confirmed the FBI's assessment.
Number 1.
Former Southeast Kansas Sheriff Deputy Garrett Gayasso of Baxter Springs pled guilty to 1 count of production of child pornography. The 25-year-old allegedly groomed a 16-year-old girl online and convinced her to send him nudes. These crimes took place between 2024 and 2025.
Now, the KZRG question of the day.
What are your thoughts on the FIFA games going on in the US of A? We want to know. Go to KZRG's Facebook page, News Talk KZRG on Facebook. What are your thoughts on those games? Coming up, what's going on with your money on News Talk KZRG?
Here is your KZRG forecast. With high pressure anchored over the eastern half of the country, the heat and humidity that we had yesterday persists the rest of the week. We do have a heat advisory through Friday evening at this point. Afternoons are hot, dry, 92 today, 93 tomorrow, but the heat index running 100 or higher, especially in the afternoon.
Good morning, Greg. Thank you. I meant I didn't mean the drywall. I'm sorry. I meant the what I was trying to say was the stuff behind the drywall. Everything it's built out of. So yes, I did misspeak. I was thinking in my head like wall and then all the material that goes into the wall, and then I said drywall. But you're totally right, Greg. I do appreciate that correction, my good sir. And by the way, I will make that correction on air, and I will give you credit, because you are completely correct, sir. Total misspeak on my end. By the way, how's everyone doing this morning? Hopefully well. I will say I'm not a big fan of this weather. Not a big fan at all. I'm a little bit of a wimp when it comes to a little bit of a wimp when it comes to the heat. Not gonna lie.
Backyard had everything. Boogers on the grill. Kids running through
boogers on the grill.
Until the mosquitoes arrived. Suddenly, everyone's swatting. The dog won't stop scratching. The cookout moved inside. Fire pit abandoned. It was the summer that should have been. Until one family fought back and called Bug Away Pest Control. Hey, it's Doug and Rory from Bug Away Pest Control. Don't let backyard pests cancel your summer plans.
Pest Control use powerful pet.
She said, I'm good, just making some coffee. It's def too hot. Def too hot. Yeah, I got a little cold brew here that's not really as cold anymore.
I get a little hot brew that's not as hot now.
Yeah, I got this from Joplin Avenue Coffee Shop yesterday, and then decided I didn't need it yesterday. So I put it in my fridge and saved it for today. And the barista, whom I'm friends with, wrote a note on it, and I couldn't read it because it's in black and the coffee's black. So she said she wrote a note on it, and I wasn't able to tell until today as I drink it, and it looks like, as I'm trying to, looks like she wrote, She wrote, so my name is Theodore Lawrence Bojorquez is my full name. Hey, Betty, good morning. And she wrote Theodore Lawrence before kids instead of Bojorquez. I guess that's how she interpreted my last name. And then there's something else on the below that, but I can't quite read it yet because it still has black ink on it. Or, excuse me, the coffee is still there. So there's something right here, but I can only dip the liquid so far. So as I drink the coffee, I'll give you an update as to what the other message on this is.
I'm Nicole Murray with Your Money Now. Microsoft is planning to cut under 2.5% of its workforce in the latest round of layoffs that could be announced as early as next week. Business Insider reported the news. U.S. companies have continued to trim headcounts in recent months with a fresh wave of layoffs across the technology, media, and finance sectors. WhatsApp said its users will soon get the option of going by usernames instead of phone numbers, announcing plans to address a privacy blind spot. WhatsApp, which says it has more than 3 billion users globally, has until now allowed users to be contacted by anyone who has their phone number. The app is owned by Meta Platforms. Amazon said it is creating a new division under its Amazon Web Services Cloud unit, employing so-called forward-deployed engineers who embed with customers to help them more quickly and efficiently adopt artificial intelligence software. The company is committing an initial $1 billion to the initiative. Futures are moderately lower after the Dow hit another record close. That's Your Money Now.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores!
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
The board recommends approving
regarding that seat on the committee, we're promoting.
To boost quarterly earnings.
Every day, shareholders meet to discuss important matters about the companies you invest in. Now you can easily make your voice heard. Vanguard Investor Choice gives you a say in the companies you invest in. With just a few taps, you can set your proxy voting preference for your index funds. Visit Vanguard.com/investorchoice to learn more. Vanguard investors own shares of our index funds, which own shares of the companies they invest in. Available for Vanguard index funds that participate in Investor Choice. Vanguard Marketing Corporation Distributor.
They call it controversy. I call it honesty. Hi, this is Vince Colonnese. Join me tonight at 8, right after Mark Levin on News Talk KZRG.
It's the KZRG Morning News Watch on News Talk KZRG.
It's FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310, News Talk KZRG, Ted Bojorquez.
And Steve Scott.
And we got a bit of a correction for you this morning. If you ever hear us say something that's a tad amiss or you think we have slightly wrong of any kind, you can always let us know by texting us at 417-782-1310. Earlier, we were talking about how Kansas Governor Laura Kelly has established the Governor's Uniform Fire Code Task Force as a way of updating Kansas's fire code to align with modern, nationally recognized safety standards, given, the new technology that we have. We have more batteries in our homes in the form of, they're in our laptops, our phones, things like that. We have different building materials, and so Kansas wants to update their fire safety code. I had made the note. I was going on and on about all the new things that we have in our home that make fire more dangerous, make home fires more dangerous today than they were in the past. And one of the things I listed off as making fires more dangerous today was drywall. And that is wrong. Greg hopped on our KZRG video live stream, sponsored by Fast Monkey Auto and Liberty Tree Guns, and he said, "Hey, Ted, what the heck are you talking about? Drywall is not flammable. That's why we use it in home construction." And Greg is exactly right. What I was trying to say was all the stuff that's behind the drywall, and I had misspoken and I said drywall. So Greg's right. Drywall, it's actually not flammable.
It's dry.
It's dry. That's
but
right.
But it's not flammable.
Wouldn't dry make it slightly more flammable?
No,
it doesn't matter.
Particularly.
It's all science and chemicals and egghead stuff. But the point is that we had misspoken. We had something wrong. Greg respectfully let us know. And we always say, if we get something wrong and you point it out, we will correct it here on air. News Talk KZRG. We are dedicated to being as accurate as we possibly can. Steve and I, we are fallible. We are humans. And sometimes we make mistakes. And if you let us know about that mistake, we will always come in. We will always correct it. We will always eat our slice of humble pie every single time. So you can always let us know by texting us at 417-782-1310, letting us know on our Facebook page. You can call us at 417-782-1310, whatever you want, however you want to get a hold of us. We will always make those corrections. So big shout out to you, Greg. Steve, how's the weather today?
Oh, well, the weather today is different from what? For the days of wind chill advisories. It'd be so much nicer at this point. But there's a heat advisory in effect all the way until Friday night about 9 o'clock. The reason why it's going to be sunny and hot during the daytime, moony and warm at night. High today, 92 with sunshine and hot. Tonight, mostly clear with the full moon and 74 for the overnight low. Sunny and hot tomorrow, 93 for the high. And then Thursday night, 75 for the low, partly cloudy. Friday, sunny, hot, 93 for the high. And the heat index each day is going to be around 100 to 105. Now, Saturday, they're calling for a high of 94, so it's going to be even warmer. That's why I'm thinking the heat advisory may get extended, but we'll just have to wait until they actually extend it. But that's my gut feeling. We're going to be talking with KZRG meteorologist Terry Smith all about this hot weather as we get closer to the 7:25 time slot.
Coming up after the news in less than 10 minutes at around 6:40. The Joplin Police Department now say he was hit by several cars before he died. That's coming up in less than 10 minutes.
At 6:31, I'm Steve Scott.
And I'm Ted Bojorquez.
Here's what's trending on News Talk, KZRG.
Yet another earthquake rescue.
SCOTUS wrap up.
Trump travels to North Dakota.
No one gives you more accurate weather more often than News Talk. KZRG heat advisory through 9 o'clock on Friday. 92 with sunshine and hot today. Your complete forecast with KZRG meteorologist Terry Smith. Following sports, that'll be at 6:38. Sun is on the rise at 73 in Neosho, 75 in Pittsburgh, 76 in Diamond, 76 in Joplin. AM 1310, FM 102.9, 105.9. News Talk, KZRG.
As the U.S. ramps up its response to the Venezuelan earthquakes, a 3-year-old boy has been rescued after 6 days in the rubble.
His survival is described by President Delcy Rodriguez as a source of hope for our people. Kleber Moran was pulled from the wreckage of a collapsed building nearly a week after 2 strong earthquakes hit northern Venezuela. He's recovering in the hospital, where his vital signs are said to be promising. Around 2,000 people are confirmed dead, with tens of thousands unaccounted for. Venezuelans have expressed anger at what they say has been an inadequate response from their government. The US military has deployed around 900 personnel to help on the ground. Jonathan Savage, Fox News.
The U.S. Supreme Court wrapping up its term resolving cases involving transgender athletes, campaign finance rules, and birthright citizenship.
The U.S. Supreme Court struck down President Trump's executive order finding the 14th Amendment confers citizenship upon most people born here. President Trump said then Congress should work to end birthright citizenship now, and House Speaker Mike Johnson reacted.
I think it's clearly an issue that merits the attention of Congress. I don't know what the remedy is, how to define it, or the timeline. It would be premature for me to project that, but I will tell you that it's a big concern with the American people because it's been abused.
The justices also ruled states can block transgender athletes from competing in girls' and women's sports. They also ended caps on political party expenditures when coordinating with individual candidates, finding the limits violated the First Amendment. Jessica Rosenthal, Fox News.
President Trump heading to North Dakota to help open a new library celebrating one of his predecessors.
The president will travel to the town of Medora to speak at the dedication of the new Theodore Roosevelt Presidential Library. It's located outside the national park named for the 26th president, with the attraction focused not only on Teddy Roosevelt's life and presidency, but his legacy as a conservationist. He spent time in Medora as a rancher following the deaths of his wife and mother, both on the same day in 1884, years before succeeding President William McKinley, who was assassinated in 1901. While President Trump will help dedicate the new Roosevelt Library, its website has the official opening day on July 4th. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
Sunshine 76. It's now 6:34. News Talk, KZRG.
A Missouri health expert says there are several common mistakes people should avoid when it comes to sun protection. MU healthcare dermatologist Dr. Jordan Parker says one mistake is getting a base tan before going on their summer vacation.
In reality, that really does not provide additional protection. And then the second most common mistake I tend to see are folks that are getting SPF 4 or SPF 10. I mean, these are honestly kind of a waste of money.
Dr. Parker says to choose a broad-spectrum sunscreen with an SPF of at least 30.
The people want answers on aliens. Will we get it?
The president has signaled the era of secrecy must end. What was once dismissed is now the subject of serious congressional and executive attention. This amendment, the Unidentified Anomalous Phenomenon Disclosure Act, will finally bring accountability. Members of this committee, the UAP information belongs to the American people, and transparency is a simple step towards restoring public trust.
But Southwest Missouri Congressman Eric Burleson's proposal got blocked by the House Rules Committee just hours after he said those words. If you see news, text us at 417-782-1310, Sunshine 76, 836, News Talk, KZRG.
Independence Day is just a few days away, and that means fireworks. But sometimes fireworks also mean fires. Dustin Luneau with the Joplin Fire Department say one thing you don't want to do is sweep up spent fireworks and put them in a trash can near your house.
I would challenge you to, pull all your spent fireworks into a pile and, leave it in a nice spot on your gravel drive or your driveway or even at the curb.
Those destructive little minions returned to the big screen, and they brought some friends.
The yellow, bouncy, and ridiculously strong minions from the Despicable Me movies are back with a new chapter featuring all new characters in the biggest global animated franchise in history, Minions and Monsters.
You wrote a monster movie?
Sí, con pica kaiju. Arr, arr.
What are you going to use for your monster?
The film tells the totally true story of how the Minions conquered Hollywood, became movie stars, lost everything, pitched a movie, then created monsters, unleashed them onto the world, and then banded together to try and save the planet from the mayhem they had just created. Michelle Polino, Fox News.
Well, the Cardinals were hot at the bats last night, according to Joe Morgan.
A big night for the Redbirds in Atlanta. Nathan Church launched a crucial 3-run blast.
The pitch to Church is hit high and deep to right field. That one is deep. That one is gone. A 3-run homer for Nathan Church.
Nelson Valquez tacked on a solo shot, and Matthew Liberatore gave him 5 strong innings on the bump. It all added up to a 5-3 Cardinals victory over the National League East leading Braves. St. Louis looked to keep the momentum rolling in Game 2 tonight. First pitch is locked in for 6:15. Meanwhile, Junior Caminero is absolutely locked in for Tampa Bay. The Rays slugger homered for the 5th straight game last night, a 3-run rocket that fueled a massive 6-run second inning. The Rays never looked back, crushing the Kansas City Royals 10-4. Game 2 of that series gets underway tonight at 6:40. Sports is brought to you by Hickman Lawn and Landscape. For professional lawn and landscape solutions in Webb City and Joplin, choose the experts at Hickman Lawn and Landscape. Visit hickmanlawns.com. And that's a look at sports. I'm Joe Morgan for News Talk KZRG.
Download the Zimmer Storm Center app today. It's free. It's available at your app store. I'm Steve Scott.
And I'm Ted Bojorquez.
Next news, 7 o'clock, breaking news as it happens. No one gives you more accurate weather more often than News Talk, KZRG. Now, KZRG meteorologist Terry Smith.
Here is your KZRG forecast. With high pressure anchored over the eastern half of the country, the heat and humidity that we had yesterday persists the rest of the week. We do have a heat advisory through Friday evening at this point. Afternoons are hot, dry, 92 today, 93 tomorrow, but the heat index running 100 or higher, especially in the afternoon. I'm meteorologist Terry Smith in the KZRG Storm Center.
Clean sweep this morning on the KZRG Storm Tracker radar. It's 73 with sunshine in Neosho, 75 in Pittsburgh, 76 in Webb City, 76 in Joplin. News Talk KZRG with 100 weather updates every 24 hours. KZRG News Time, 6:39.
the power's out. My phone's at 2%.
Everyone, stay calm.
Daniel, you're the only one screaming.
I know. I can't find my flashlight, beef jerky, or emergency storm Crocs.
Dad must have found everything because now he's in there negotiating with the breaker box. Mom's hiding by the refrigerator trying to keep the cold air from escaping. Your point? We're not losing a single chicken nugget.
Good morning, everybody.
The air conditioner's working. Nuggets are safe.
Betty is here. Good morning to you, Betete. Tim, good morning to you, Sir Tim. Sir Tim says, I've worked in the summertime heat for years, but AC has me spoiled now. I'm very satisfied to sit on the porch and just watch the flowers grow now. I highly recommend retirement. Oh, is that so, Tim? All right, well, you know what? I'm going to tell my boss, look, listen, guy. Tim says he recommends retirement. Who am I to not listen to Tim? Tim seems like a wise individual. I think I'm going to go ahead and retire now. Toby, what's going on, Toby? Doc is here. Bill, good morning to you, good sir Bill. We got a full house this morning. I hope everyone's doing well. Hopefully everyone is doing swimmingly. I might go swimming today, actually, speaking of the heat.
Fit awaits. Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free, and you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free. We buy guns, oh yes. We buy guns, oh yes. We are the best, oh yes. We buy guns, oh yes.
This is Liberty Tree Guns, the best place to sell your firearms. Walk in with a gun. Walk out with money.
We buy guns, oh yes. We buy guns, oh yes. We are the best, oh yes. We buy guns, oh yes.
Liberty Tree Guns. Across from Lowe's in Carthage. Or visit libertytreeguns.com to start your quote today.
We buy guns, oh yes. We buy guns, oh yes. We are the best, oh yes.
Hey, Clay Travis here. Join me and Buck Sexton weekdays from 11 till 2 right here on News Talk KZRG. You can depend on it.
From Studio 1Z, with the latest news, commentary, and weather, it's the KZRG Morning News Watch on News Talk KZRG.
6:42 is the KZRG news time. 76 in Joplin, 75 in Pittsburgh, 73 in Neosho, 75 in the Miami area. It's going to be yet another hot one today.
Oh, yeah. Sunny and hot with a high of 92 and the heat index at about 100 or higher. Tomorrow, repeat it again. Sunny and hot with a high of 93. Heat index could be above 100. Friday, sunny and hot, 93 for the high. Heat index could be above 100 to 105. And Saturday, which is not included in the heat advisory, it's going to be sunny and hot, 94 for the high, with the heat index possibly 100 to 105. Now, we're going to be talking to KZRG meteorologist Terry Smith at 7:25 this morning.
Yes, indeed. Be there or be square to get all the information from KZRG's meteorologist Terry Smith at FM 102.9, 105.9 AM 1310 News Talk KZRG. Well, it turns out he was hit more than once. There was a local death that happened last Thursday in Joplin that we've reported on. We have an update for you on it. Joplin police still investigating that car crash. The JPD's major crash team determined that 86-year-old Jolly Matthews III of Hattiesburg, thank you, Mississippi, was attempting to cross range line near 32nd Street in Joplin on foot when he was struck by a dune buggy-style vehicle. Now, Matthews was pronounced dead at the scene. When we first reported on this story, It was told to us by the JPD that he was hit by this dune buggy and didn't survive. However, we are now getting word from the major crash team that Matthews may have been struck by multiple vehicles while crossing the street. It wasn't just the one hit.
Uh-oh.
That investigation is still ongoing, but please be careful when crossing the road, especially range line. Don't jaywalk. Don't think to yourself, I could probably make it.
Yeah.
Don't think to yourself, that driver probably sees me. Always assume you can't make it. Always assume that driver does not see you. I know that pedestrians have the right of way. Try telling that to a car once it hits you.
Or a semi.
Or a semi. So please just be careful on those roadways while crossing. We are getting word that the dune buggy style vehicle that allegedly hit Matthews is registered and street legal. So it looks like this may have just been a really unfortunate accident. But we will have more information for you as we get it here on News Talk KZRG. Just be careful. So we just want to give you that little update on a story we had for you over the weekend. Moving on from there, but keeping with unfortunate road accidents, police are now looking into a hit-and-run incident, and they need your help. Independence, Kansas Police Department saw a hit-and-run not too long ago. Police are now on the look for a vehicle that allegedly struck a pedestrian and zoomed on out of there, which is a huge no-no in the eyes of the law.
Big time.
And in the eyes of society. Police are now looking for a white 2018 to 2020 four-door Ford F-150 FX4 vehicle.
Believed to be a Lariat or a Platinum model with a chrome front bumper.
Yeah, so keep an eye out on this. This was a hit-and-run incident. Somebody hit somebody and fled. Ran away. This is illegal. Police are looking for this person, but they need your help a little bit. Now, this car is alleged to have been, absolutely smacked this dude on the side of the road. And I'm going to get a little bit inside baseball for you here on the make and model of this vehicle. Why? Because the Independence, Kansas Police Department, they really do need your help in finding this person. They're very deadly serious about this. Now, based on the information provided to investigators by car experts, the vehicle, in the limited amount of footage they do have of this car, appears to be a Power Stroke-equipped F-150, which apparently some gearheads out there went, hey, that's not a thing. That doesn't happen. Apparently, there was a time when F-150s came in a Power Stroke configuration. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I am not a gearhead. What I am a big fan of is holding people accountable for hit-and-run accidents.
That's true.
So I'm giving you all the information that was given to us in an attempt to find this guy. So keep an eye out for this white F-150, but that is modeled between the years of 2018 and 2020. Another telltale sign that this truck may be the truck that Independence, Kansas Police Department is looking for in relation to this hit-and-run incident is that it is believed that this F-150 may have mirror front-end damage from the crash.
That'd be minor.
Excuse me,
Not
say
mirror, minor.
Minor, thank you. So if you see an F-150 that's white with a chrome bumper cruising around that looks like it might have hit something, check it out. That might be the car they're looking for. Now, this truck was last seen traveling southbound on South 17th Street at around 10:47 p.m. on June 27th, leaving the scene of the accident. It is also being asked by investigators to check your Ring doorbell camera footage if you live in Independence, Kansas area. Anywhere in that area. Take a look at some of your footage. See if you see an F-150 just absolutely booking it at a high rate of speed out of that area. It might be the car they're looking for. So more details can be found at newstalkkzrg.com. Moving on from there, more road work to report on this morning. This is major road work, but it's something that you need to keep in mind. It is happening on Missouri Route 43 at the Spring River Bridge north of Joplin. Now, this is pretty far out there, I will say. It's north of Joplin, north of Webb City, north of Oronogo. It's way out there, but you might cross this bridge if you're heading to Nevada, Missouri, or Nashville, Missouri. If you're taking kind of a goofy route to Pittsburgh, Kansas for some reason, you want to take the back routes, the scenic route, you might come across this bridge. This is a full-blown closure. Why? Because they're rehabilitating this bridge. They can't really close half the bridge and let, half the bridge work.
No.
So they're shutting the whole thing down, and they are fully rehabilitating this bad boy, which, by the way, is something Missouri has been doing a lot of over the last handful of years.
Oh,
which
yeah.
Might sound kind of silly, we're putting money into building a bridge. Let me tell you something. It's not silly when you're a car on a bridge and you realize the bridge is over 100 years old.
That's true.
It's a little nerve-wracking. So they're going to resurface it. They're going to do more, new striping on it, all that good stuff. They're just going to make sure it's up to code, up to standard. However, this bridge is going to be closed for kind of a while.
They're going to be tearing up all the driving surface and putting a new driving surface down on it.
Now, the good news is there will be signed detours, so you're not going to be left to your own devices. If you forget about it and you're cruising down that way and you're like, oh, my God, the bridge is closed. Where do I go? No worries. They're gonna have a route painted out for you. KZRG News Time 6:50.
And now, KZRG's Big Three on News Talk KZRG.
Number 3.
They're calling her the sole survivor. Republican Representative Lauren Boebert snagged the Republican primary win after running unopposed. She is the only Republican firebrand to have highly publicized disagreements with President Trump and actually make it out of it politically unscathed.
Number 2.
84-year-old Nancy Guthrie, the mother of Today's Show co-host Savannah Guthrie, still missing. Now, the FBI claims the 3 highly publicized ransom notes they received from Nancy's alleged kidnappers were all fake. A second law enforcement source familiar with the matter confirmed the FBI's assessment.
Number 1.
Former Southeast Kansas Sheriff Deputy Garrett Gaiasco of Baxter Springs pled guilty to 1 count of production of child pornography. The 25-year-old allegedly groomed a 16-year-old girl online and convinced her to send him nudes. These crimes took place between 2024 and 2025.
Now, the KZRG question of the day.
What are your thoughts on the FIFA games going on in the United States? We want to know. Go to KZRG's Facebook page, News.KZRG in Facebook. Do you care? Don't care? Are you following? Annoyed? Unannoyed? Excited? Bored? We want to know your thinking. Leave us an open mic message on the KZRG app. Coming up, Sean Hannity's Morning Minute. You can tune into Sean every single weekday starting at 2 on FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310. KZRG. Good morning.
Here is your KZRG forecast. With high pressure anchored over the eastern half of the country, the heat and humidity that we had yesterday persists the rest of the week. We do have a heat advisory through Friday evening at this point. Afternoons are hot, dry, 92 today, 93 tomorrow, but the heat index running 100 or higher, especially in the afternoon. I'm meteorologist Terry Smith in the KZRG Storm Center.
Hinkle's Ace Hardware, they've got what you need there. They'll make you feel welcome and help you get the job done.
Is that the smell of victory? At Hinkle's Ace Hardware, we know that every great backyard hero needs the right tools. That's why we've stocked up on the biggest names in the game, from the iconic sear of a Weber to the ceramic versatility of the Big Green Egg. Looking for that wood-fired flavor? Check out our selection of Traeger and our newest line, RecTech pellet grills. And don't forget the secret ingredient. We have a massive wall of unique spices, sauces, and rubs from brands like Bear & Burton and Meat Church that you won't find anywhere else. And here's the best part. We offer free delivery and free assembly on all grills $3.99 and up. Shop with the experts in-store at Hinkle's Ace Hardware or browse the full lineup online at acehardware.com. At Hinkle's, we build it, we bring it, you just grill it.
Neighbors helping neighbors, Hinkle's Ace Hardware Store.
Ozark Memorial Park Crematory is opening a new location in Neosho. They're proud to service the Neosho area with the same compassionate and loving care that has set the standard in Joplin. In 2025, they were blessed to serve over 1,000 families and hope to help many more through their most difficult times, caring for your loved ones as if they were their own. Learn more at Ozark Memorial Park Cemetery and Crematory.com. Ozark Memorial Park, where care doesn't end and family always comes first.
Goldilocks needed a dumpster. The first one she rented was too small.
My garage stuff won't fit.
The second dumpster was too big.
I don't own that much junk.
Then she found the yellow box from Big John's roll-off service.
This dumpster is just right.
Big John. John's.
Hey, I'm the Big John from Big John's Roll-Off Service.
And I'm the wife, Claire.
And our yellow box special gives you 15 to 20 yards of space and is the same footprint as a smaller box, but taller, so you can fit more.
It's perfect for garage cleanouts, home projects and remodels, moving, downsizing, or finally tackling that backyard pile you've been ignoring.
For just $400, you get 7 days of rental and the first 2,000 pounds of debris.
But we've only got 3 yellow boxes, so once they're booked, they're booked.
Reserve yours today at BigJohnsRolloff.com.
When you've got big waste, you need Big John's.
Big on service, big on savings. Big John's.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now, there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. And you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Your morning cup of Sean. This is the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
I mean, it's not really that. The core argument in this is, the 14th Amendment is subject to the jurisdiction thereof clause was never meant for the children of illegal immigrants. It targeted the freedom of slaves, and illegal immigrants owe allegiance to foreign nations and enter in violation of U.S. law. So why would the U.S. Supreme Court codify into law or reward, take it a step further, institutionalized law breaking, people that don't respect our laws, our sovereignty, and our borders? That is not what the framers clearly intended.
The conservative underground meets later today on the Sean Hannity Show.
All right, everybody cares about health, wellness, fitness, nutrition, and so many of us are guessing our way through our health, guessing what foods to eat, what supplements to take, wondering why some things make us feel better than others. Now, that's where Viome comes in. It's a simple, at-home gut health test that uses advanced RNA technology. It analyzes your gut microbiome to understand how your body is truly functioning in this moment. And from there, Viome then creates a personalized food and supplement plan designed specifically for your body. Right, Linda? You've been doing this.
I have been doing it, and the test is easy. It's got great steps. It walks you right through. It's easy to do. You can send it right in.
Take the guesswork out of it. Get real data. Go to VIOME/Hannity. VIOME.com/Hannity today. And when you follow their plan, you can expect better digestion, more energy, improved mood. Stop guessing. Start knowing.
News, talk, commentary, and hard truths. All those can be heard when you tune into the Mark Levin Show every weekday from 5 to 8 on News Talk KZRG. Depend on it.
It's the KZRG Morning News Watch on News Talk KZRG.
Sunny and hot today with a high of 92. Heat index as high as 100 or above. Tonight, mostly clear, 74. Tomorrow, sunny, hot, 93 with the heat index again in the above 100 degree range possible. And Friday, sunny and hot, 93. It could be above on the heat index, above 100 again. Saturday looking the same except for the actual temperature as high as 94. We're going to talk to KZRG meteorologist Terry Smith at 7:25 and get all the deets on this particular heat wave.
Wow, Steve, using language like deets, you sound pretty hip these days, buddy.
No cap, no cap.
Oh, whoa, look at that. Yeah, Terry Smith, she's going to be joining us at 7:25, giving us all those details. Coming up at 8:10. We're going to be joined by Missouri State Highway Patrol's Corporal Sam Carpenter. We're going to be talking to him about holiday travel. It is, in fact, America's 250th birthday this weekend, which means there's going to be a lot of people on Missouri roadways. What does that mean for your safety? We're going to be finding out from Corporal Sam Carpenter at around 8:10 on FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310, News Talk KZRG. If you have any questions for the Corporal, feel free to text us at 417-782-1310. Coming up in about 3 minutes here. A Joplin teenager being charged with 3 counts of negligent homicide.
The 4 states news, talk, and severe weather station. KZRG, KIXQ HD2, Joplin, a free service of Zimmer Marketing. It's 7 o'clock.
A Gen Z socialist ousts a baby boomer Democrat. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Another House incumbent knocked out, this time in Colorado, a week after 2 Democratic congressmen lost to socialists in New York.
From coast to coast, from every level of office, we are taking back our party and our country.
That's Milat Quiros after beating Congresswoman Diana DeGette in a Democratic primary.
It marks a major generational shift as well. DeGette came to Congress in 1997, only months before 29-year-old Quiros was born. Quiros, a Democratic socialist, supports Medicare for all, abolishing ICE, and ending U.S. military funding for Israel.
Fox's Madeline Rivera. Quiros expected to win in November in a heavily Democratic House district. Another socialist in Colorado lost, trying to unseat a Democratic senator. John Hickenlooper defeated his challenger, Julie Gonzalez. Almost a week since twin earthquakes devastated Venezuela, a 3-year-old boy was found alive in the rubble. Thousands more that remain missing as crews keep searching. The number of deaths up to almost 2,000. More drama in the Strait of Hormuz. A ship ran aground
when using a route other than that approved by Iran's Revolutionary Guard. Shipping has resumed in the light of renewed peace negotiations, but it's still at a much lower level than before the conflict began. Iran's insisting it maintains a level of control over the vital waterway. Today in Qatar, mediated technical level talks are continuing.
That's Fox's Jonathan Savage. Speaking of Qatar, the plane they gave the U.S. as a gift has been upgraded. It's Air Force One now. President Trump will soon take his first flight this hour going to North Dakota.
The president will travel to the town of Medora to speak at the dedication of the new Theodore Roosevelt Presidential Library. It's located outside the national park named for the 26th president.
That's Fox's Gernal Scott. America's listening to Fox News.
No one gives you more accurate weather more often than News Talk. KZRG. Heat advisory in effect through 9 o'clock on Friday night. Heading for a high of 92. Your complete forecast with KZRG meteorologist Terry Smith. Following sports, that'll be at 7:08. The sun is shining. It's hot. 73 in Neosho, 75 in Pittsburgh, 77 in Galena, 77 in Joplin. FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310. And on your smart speaker, News Talk, KZRG. A Joplin teenager charged with 3 counts of negligent homicide.
It was October of 2024. Now 19-year-old Jonathan Spencer was behind the wheel of a speeding car that went off of Highway 10 between Miami and Seneca and overturned several times. Now Spencer's accused of being responsible for the deaths of his passengers, 16-year-old Isaac Dunn, 17-year-old Chance Milton, and 18-year-old Brent Taylor. Those charges against Spencer filed this past week. I'm Cy Albright. You saw KZRG.
More than 18 years in prison await a former Southeast Kansas law enforcement officer. 25-year-old Garrett Gaiasso of Baxter Springs admitted that he committed explicit crimes against a 16-year-old girl in Massachusetts and that he had met online. Gaiasso was a sheriff's deputy in Cherokee County when he first started talking to the teen online, and then he got promoted and began investigating cyber crimes against children, all while still communicating with this underage girl.
Ending alien secrecy, Southwest Missouri Congressman Eric Burleson offered up his amendment to the House Rules Committee.
For too long, records concerning UAPs have been scattered across agencies, shielded by contractors, or lost to time. The president has changed this. He has championed historic progress toward genuine disclosure, declassification, and transparency. Congress needs to support those measures now.
But just hours later, that committee decided not to include it in this year's defense spending bill. If you see news, text us 417-782-1310, Sunshine 77-704, News Talk KZRG.
Federal disaster relief is coming to Missouri. President Donald Trump announced $27.6 million has been approved for storm and tornado recovery following a request from Missouri Governor Mike Kehoe. The funding is going to go to repairing infrastructure and aid families, with specific county allocations expected to be announced from SEMA soon.
Independence Day, it's just a few days away. That means fireworks, but sometimes fireworks also mean fires. Dustin Luno of the Joplin Fire Department says one thing you don't want to do is sweep up spent fireworks and put them in a trash can inside your house.
I would challenge you to, pull all your spent fireworks into a pile and, leave it in a nice spot on your gravel drive or your driveway or even at the curb.
The Cardinals' bats were hot last night, according to Joe Morgan.
A big night for the Redbirds in Atlanta. Nathan Church launched a crucial 3-run blast.
The pitch to Church is hit high and deep to right field. That one is deep. That one is gone. A 3-run homer for Nathan Church.
Nelson Valquez tacked on a solo shot, and Matthew Liberatore gave him 5 strong innings on the bump. It all added up to a 5-3 Cardinals victory over the National League East leading Braves. St. Louis looked to keep the momentum rolling in Game 2 tonight. First pitch is locked in for 6:15. Meanwhile, Junior Caminero is absolutely locked in for Tampa Bay. The Rays slugger homered for the 5th straight game last night, a 3-run rocket that fueled a massive 6-run second inning. The Rays never looked back, crushing the Kansas City Royals 10-4. Game 2 of that series gets underway tonight at 6:40. Sports is brought to you by Hickman Lawn and Landscape. For professional lawn and landscape solutions in Webb City and Joplin, choose the experts at Hickman Lawn and Landscape. Visit hickmanlawns.com. And that's a look at sports. I'm Joe Morgan for News Talk KZRG.
It's free. It's at your app store. Download the Zimmer Storm Center app today. I'm Steve Scott.
And I'm Ted Bojorquez.
Next news, 7:30, breaking news as it happens. No one gives you more accurate weather more often than News Talk KZRG. Now, KZRG meteorologist Terry Smith.
Here is your KZRG forecast. No signs of the heat and humidity easing up. Heat advisory until Friday evening. 92 today, heat index 100. I'm meteorologist Terry Smith in the KZRG Storm Center.
Weather is the service of Buffalo Run Casino. This 4th of July, come enjoy live music from Big Smitty, food trucks, family-friendly activities, a military flyover, and the largest fireworks show in the area. Let the good times run at Buffalo Run Casino.
No rain showing up this morning on the KZRG Storm Tracker radar. 73 with sunshine in Neosho, 75 in Pittsburgh, 77 in Columbus, 77 in Joplin. News Talk KZRG with 100 weather updates every 24 hours. KZRG News Time, 7:07.
Mom!
Yeah?
Where does the bath drain go?
Why?
I was giving my favorite Lego man a bath, and he went down the drain. So I sent a guy in after him, and a guy after him, and now the water won't...
Good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday.
All right.
Ooh, 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 ooh. Can we get a shout out for Wednesday? Now,
Wednesday.
Steve, normally this would be the halfway point of the week, but as Steve pointed out, a lot of people have Friday off this week in honor of America 250. So really, we're kind of past the halfway point, which means the weekend is just around the corner. All right, I know I'm a little behind on comments, so I apologize.
Hi, Doc.
Avery, did you say I'm not?
No, I said hi, Doc.
Oh. Steve said, I've been following along just fine. Ted, get with the times here, man. Avery, good morning to you. Joe is here. Joe said, good morning. Sorry I'm late, but working all. Joe, please.
Joe work?
Joe. Yeah. Joe pretends like he works. I'm just messing with you, Joe. Teresa said, how dare you focus on work when the comments section needs a proper babysitter? You know what? That's actually true. Joe kind of is the new KZRG comment section babysitter, because Steve and I, we do leave you unattended fairly often. But now we have Joe.
Mary is here. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Mary.
Good marining. Mary? Marining? Good marinara sauce to you. Savvy's here. Good morning, Savvy. Hey, it was good seeing you yesterday. Thanks for coming in. Savvy and her lovely husband James visited us in the studio yesterday, and it was a total blast. It was super fun. So it was awesome seeing you yesterday. I appreciate it. Jody's here. We got the Queen's Wave for Jody. Teresa said, it just occurred to me that the leftists claim the founding fathers created a system of systematic racism, but also claim they wanted birthright citizenship for anchor babies. They never think these things through logically. That is true, Sarisa. Unfortunately, have you ever seen buildings that, like, you build a base layer, and then they add something on top of it, and then they add something on top of it, and then they add something on top of it, and by the time you get up to, like, the very top, you're like, this is so structurally unsound. It's just this weird Frankenstein patchwork of things that people just sort of added to. I think that's kind of the less problem with a lot of their ideology, is it's just a patchwork of different ideas that get put together and aren't really cohesive. They never take the time to add something new and go, okay, how does this impact our previous thought process? How does it coexist and play with? Do we need to edit anything? Do we need to think critically about anything? They don't. They just put things on top of each other, and the whole thing is just so structurally unsound it doesn't make sense.
Kind of sounds like a presidential library that was just dedicated here recently.
A patchwork of...
Yeah, where it's looking weird in Chicago.
Oh, yeah.
KZRG, depend on it. From Studio 1Z, with the latest news, commentary, and weather, it's the KZRG Morning News Watch on News Talk, KZRG.
Sunny, hot today, 92 for the actual high, but it's going to feel like 100 to 105, that heat index. Tonight, low down to 74, mostly clear. Tomorrow, repeat, sunny, hot, 93 with the heat index 100 to 105. Thursday night, partly cloudy, 75. Then on Friday, sunny, hot again. Jeez. Heat index of 100 to 105 at the actual temperature, 93. Now, the July 4th holiday, it's going to be sunny and hot, 94 for the high. We're still having just the heat advisory at this time, only until 9 o'clock on Friday night. We're going to check in with KZRG meteorologist Terry Smith at 7:25.
Yes, we are. 7:25 is the time to be here for all that weather information on FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310, News Talk KZRG. You can also get the Zimmer Storm Center app. It's totally free to download in the App Store or the Google Play Store. You can have access to custom weather alerts and a live radar. Most radars, they're like 2, 3, even 5 minutes behind what the data is actually saying. Not the Zimmer Storm Center app. It is live. The second it pings off the towers is the second that it shows up on your phone. Free to download wherever you get your apps. Well, America is turning 250 years old this Saturday. It's a really important celebration. Very, very important birthday. And in honor of that, News Talk KZRG, we had given away a flag, an American flag, but not just any American flag. This was an American flag that flew over the Capitol building in Washington, D.C., complete with a certificate of authenticity. It was a really cool patriotic prize. I was really excited about it, and I want to thank everyone here that played along with us via the KZRG app for this. Well, we had drawn our winner on Monday, and our winner was a one Mr. James. James popped into the studio yesterday to collect his patriotic prize, and I want to play for you an interview that I had conducted with James. I asked him what it meant to him to receive this prize, and I gotta say, I have never interviewed somebody that had such a succinct and patriotic answer quite like James. Take a listen to what he had to say.
Well, I'm proud to be an American, and I'm real happy to have this award that I have here, this flag, and I promise I'll fly it with respect and due diligence. But I hope from the same with all other Americans out there. And something I really want to share with everybody is to look back upon these 250 years that we have here in this great old nation. And I want you to look at the legends and the nonfiction and realize that this is something so much greater than what you would find in the history lessons of ancient Greece, where it's 2,000 years ago. We're talking less than 200 years ago. Guys, look into those legends that helped build this country, because it's pretty cool. We have some amazing heroes and some amazing figures that I think should be household names. And I think as Americans, we should really honor them during this 250 years especially. Let's learn some names, Let's learn Robert E. Lee and good old Jackson and Grant, all those characters from the Civil War, and we can look back even further to the Revolutionary. A lot of good heroes. Let's do honor.
Let's do honor, says James. And brother, I could not agree more with James. And by
100%.
the way, that was off the cuff. James had that answer. He wasn't reading anything. That was off the cuff, and that level of dedication and excitement for this country, I think, is what Saturday is all about. That's what the 4th of July is all about, and it just drives me nuts that not enough people have that level of patriotism in this country. The greatest country on earth. The country that everyone else on planet Earth desperately tries to clamor to, tries to get here to. It's insane how the far left says that this is the worst country on planet Earth, but simultaneously, we need to make sure that we open up the floodgates for every migrant to come in illegally and claim some form of citizenship, and we need to have mass amnesty to make everyone a citizen, and everyone needs to be a citizen of what? The worst country in the world? That logic doesn't make sense. If we were that bad, then our illegal migration problem wouldn't be that bad. If we were that bad, we would be like North Korea, and everyone would be desperately trying to get out of the country, not in. And it is that level of tenacity that James has for this country that I think everyone should have, that this weekend is all about. Please go out and celebrate America this weekend the way that our founding fathers had hoped that their children and their grandchildren and their great-grandchildren would, with pride, with respect, with diligence. Shout out to James, and also big shout out to Mrs. James, who came with James as well. So that was super fun hanging out with
That's fantastic. One of the other things is a lot of the Democrats are cutting down the country, saying how horrible we are.
So bad.
It's terrible. It's horrible. It's horrendous. And then we get these people coming in for FIFA from Europe, and they're going, man, this is fantastic. They have this thing called ranch dressing. Wow, we've got to get ranch dressing back over in our country.
That's true. You want to talk, the left talks about how oppressive our society is. Do you want to talk about real oppression? Imagine living in a country without ranch dressing. That's oppression.
No, I can't do it.
That is oppression right there, brother. So, anyway, I did just want to give a big shout out to James and Mrs. James for popping in. Really appreciate you guys. It was awesome having them in the studio. And, yeah, I couldn't agree more. With James is we as a country, we need to learn about our heroes. We need to learn about our actual history and not the history that they're trying to teach in public schools in these blue left-leaning cities. The history that this country is evil, that we're founded on nothing more than racism and sexism and all that. There is a difference between being honest with the dark parts of our history and just being self-hating. And I think that the left doesn't understand that. And I think people like James do. And I think that's awesome. So
they may understand it. They just don't want to make
admit
us believe, admit that we know that they know.
I don't know. I don't know what they think. As a matter of fact, it's entirely probable that they don't think. They just say things.
Oh, Chris Plant takes care of getting that explained out on the Chris Plant Show at 9 o'clock to 11 o'clock every weekday.
That is true. You can always tune into Chris Plant. Moving on from there, I did also wanted to highlight this story. It seems niche, but in my mind, it's actually pretty exciting. President Donald Trump signed an executive order temporarily suspending tariffs on phosphate fertilizer imports from Morocco. Hey, look
all right.
Oh, whoops, wrong button. Where's the... This is why I leave Steve to do all the buttons. Yeah. Now, again, this might sound kind of niche. Oh, phosphate imports from Morocco? Why does that matter? Well, it turns out that phosphate is a really important ingredient in fertilizers that American farmers utilize. And phosphate fertilizer prices have been going up in recent years. For instance, when Trump first took office, the price for a ton, 1 metric ton of phosphate fertilizer for American farmers was about $750. Now it sits at around $1,000 per 1 metric ton. And again, those are very rough estimations because it does fluctuate basically day by day, and there's a lot of stuff that goes into it. Now, to be fair to Donald Trump, the tariffs that were imposed during the Trump administration, that did not start this price raise for American farmers and their access to phosphate fertilizer. No. It was a recent study came out of the Texas A&M University that estimated that duties added nearly $6.9 billion in fertilizer costs for the United States and for U.S. farmers between 2021 and 2025. So this has been a long-going issue well before Trump's second term. So just to clarify, however, the tariffs aren't helping out. But Donald Trump, President of the United States, he caught wind of this issue for American farmers, and he said, you know what, farmers? Great point. Signing an executive order that temporarily adds relief to American farmers and their access to this vital phosphate ingredient that we need for our agriculture, this fertilizer that we need, which is awesome. Now, I'm sure you're thinking to yourself, okay, well, hold on. It helps out for imports for phosphate fertilizer from Morocco. Why Morocco? Why specifically Morocco? Well, apparently, Morocco holds roughly 70% of planet Earth's phosphate reserves.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
Put that on the top of the list of things I didn't know but now do.
Well, back in the day, they used to have laundry detergents that were loaded with phosphates, and they get into the ecosystem because of people washing clothes.
It happens all the time. So, yeah, that's why Morocco, which, by the way, does make sense. I remember growing up, I had a friend from Morocco, and she would tell me all the time that I love my country, it's beautiful, and boy, I love all of our phosphate. And I went, oh, that's a weird detail to add. But apparently they have a lot of national pride for their phosphate reserves.
That's true. That's very true.
So anyway, I thought that was cool. It does sound niche, but it does help American farmers out in the 4 states area. We are no strangers to the concept of farming. This is the farming heart of America right here in the 4 states area: Missouri, Arkansas, Kansas, Oklahoma. We feed America in this part of the country. It's awesome. And by the way, once those fertilizer prices come down, well, suddenly it's cheaper to produce food, which suddenly means consumers can buy food for a little bit less.
That's very true. By the way, I've got some breaking news.
Oh, God.
Breaking news.
Oh.
Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce reportedly are getting married this Friday in New York City at Madison Square Garden.
Nobody cares, Steve.
I thought they would be saying...
No. They're saying... KZRG News Time, 7:21.
And now, KZRG's Big 3 on News Talk KZRG.
Number 3.
They are calling her the sole survivor. Republican Representative Lauren Boebert snagged the Republican primary win after running unopposed. She is the only Republican firebrand to have highly publicized disagreements with President Trump and actually make it out politically unscathed.
Number 2.
84-year-old Nancy Guthrie, the mother of Today's Show co-host Havana Guthrie, still missing. Now, the FBI claims the 3 highly publicized ransom notes that they received from Nancy's alleged kidnappers were all fake. A second law enforcement source familiar with the matter confirmed the FBI's assessment.
Number 1.
Former Southeast Kansas Sheriff Deputy Garrett Gaiasco of Baxter Springs pled guilty to 1 count of production of child pornography. The 25-year-old allegedly groomed a 16-year-old girl online and convinced her to send him nudes. These crimes took place between 2024 and 2025.
Now, the KZRG question of the day.
What are your thoughts on the FIFA games going on in the United States of America? We want to know. Go to KZRG's Facebook page or text us at 417-782-1310. What are your thoughts on the FIFA games going on? Coming up, a look at weekday weather with KZRG's meteorologist Terry Smith on News Talk KZRG.
Here is your KZRG forecast. With high pressure anchored over the eastern half of the country, the heat and humidity that we had yesterday persists the rest of the week. We do have a heat advisory through Friday evening at this point. Afternoons are hot, dry, 92 today, 93 tomorrow, but the heat index running 100 or higher, especially in the afternoon. I'm meteorologist Terry Smith in the KZRG Storm Center.
All right, kids, brace yourselves. This year, your old man is putting on the greatest 4th of July fireworks.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Let's see. I'm not fond of the term anchor babies, but still. Oh, interesting. Teresa, what term would you, out of just sheer curiosity, what term would you prefer as opposed to anchor babies? What's a better term that you like? Like, why would a bunch of racists agree to that? Kind of goes against their racism narrative, yeah. Wednesday dance party. Woo! 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 We got the Wednesday dance party, and we get turned on a Tuesday. Turning up on a Tuesday. Mary said, good morning, Ted and Steve. And good marinara to you, Ted. Yes, good marinara to you, Mary. So he said, Avery and I made pizza last night with some really good marinara. Oh, you made pizza? Do you have a pizza oven?
Pizza.
Tim said, hey guys, it's July. It's supposed to be hot. Yeah, that's true. That is true.
The lawyers and lobbyists working for big corporations and the super rich buried over 200 loopholes for themselves in our tax code. While they pay nothing on the services they use, working families are taxed over and over. It's no wonder they're lying about Amendment 5. Our corrupt tax system is rigged in their favor. They're getting a free ride on your back. Don't believe their lies. The truth is, Amendment 5 closes loopholes exploited by the super rich and slashes taxes paid by Missouri's working families, phasing out income taxes and cutting property taxes. They finally pay what they owe while you keep what you earn. Vote yes on Amendment 5. Paid for by Missouri Promise PAC.
Hey, want a free checking account from Community Bank and Trust?
Free? Yeah, right. What's the catch?
Well, there's no catch.
There's always a catch. I bet there's a minimum balance requirement.
Nope, their absolutely free checking account is free from minimum balance requirements.
Okay, then I bet there's a monthly service charge.
Actually, there's not. Their absolutely free checking is free from a monthly service charge.
So when you say free, you mean?
Free, gratis, countless, liberated.
Wow. Free, so I could check my balance, pay bills, use my debit card, and bank from my phone
without paying a monthly fee.
Now that's my kind of free.
Absolutely free checking, the account that gives you all the features you need for zero monthly fees from Community Bank and Trust. Get started at one of the local employee-owned CBT locations today or at cbthomebank.com. Community Bank and Trust, where trust is so important. It's in our name. Other fees such as NSF, overdraft, sustained overdraft fees, etc. may apply. See fee schedule for details. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender. NMLS number 580491.
Nikki, I haven't seen a lineup this hot since they stopped printing those swimsuit magazines.
Neo, get off Only Horns.
I'm talking about BuffaloRun.com. They've turned the excitement up to 11.
And while everybody else is sitting at home scrolling, we're chowing down on 66-cent ribs and wings and pulling an all-nighter at Neo's Tiki Bar.
Honey, my weekends at Buffalo Run give me more action than my first year at college. Ow!
Don't wait and read about it online.
Experience it yourself.
Let the good times run at Buffalo Run Casino.
Want to know what's really going on? Then join me, Chris Plant, every weekday from 9 to 11 on News Talk KZRG. Depend on it.
It's the KZRG Morning News Watch on News Talk KZRG.
Steve Scott along with KZRG meteorologist Terry Smith. Good morning, Terry.
Hey, happy Wednesday.
Oh, yeah, it's a very, very happy Wednesday. The full moon was shining bright on the highway as I was driving in this morning. And you know,
strawberry moon.
Yeah, it was a strawberry full moon. That's what Ray told us yesterday, Ray Staging.
Well, he knows what he's talking about.
Yes, he sure does. But I was going to mention something. You know, with the way the weather's been, I'm so missing those days of wind chill advisories.
The wind chill advisory. You know, my take on it is I can always add more layers to help warm up, but when we're talking about this heat and humidity, you can take everything away, and I'm still not a happy camper.
I would understand that. Boy, would I understand that. Well, listen, you know, we've got that heat advisory. Just from everything I'm looking at, I have a strong suspicion, and I'm not a meteorologist, but I have a strong suspicion it's probably going to get extended.
Well, and you may not be a meteorologist, but you're very weather savvy, and I would tend to agree with you. Right now, the National Weather Service has that heat advisory through Friday evening, but I honestly don't see any significant change. Saturday or Sunday, I think the heat and humidity still will be somewhat of a factor, if not a factor. in our weather through Sunday. And it's still hot and muggy even early next week, but we start to get some rain, which that would be a nice little wrinkle in the forecast to get some wet weather at some point, and hopefully at least cool some places off in the afternoon.
Yeah, I was looking ahead at the forecast. After we get the rain, we're going to top out at 92 again. Still no temperature relief.
Yeah, no temperature relief. You know, this time of year, the sun angle's high. High pressure usually is our dominant weather feature. If it isn't, it's only temporary. It comes back. That tends to keep our temperatures very warm for this time of year. So July and August, we can expect this kind of heat. This is not record-setting heat, and it's not record-setting humidity. It's typical summer heat and humidity, and as a result, we know what to do with this kind of weather.
Now, I know what the temperature is supposed to be today. According to you, it's supposed to be topping out at 92 with the heat index possibly 100 or higher. Is that full moon, is that having anything to do with the temperatures at night, keeping it warm?
I don't believe so. I have not yet made a connection between the moon and nighttime temperatures.
All right. We'll be keeping an eye on all that and a lot more. Terry Smith, thanks for joining us this morning.
It's been my pleasure.
We'll talk to you again soon, Terry. That was KZRG's meteorologist, Terry Smith, here on FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310, News Talk KZRG. Don't forget, you can always download the KZRG app, totally free to download in the App Store or Google Play Store. Coming up in less than 10 minutes, less than 2 minutes, we're going to be taking a little look at the GOP midterm convention on News Talk KZRG.
At 7:30, I'm Steve Scott.
And I'm Ted Bojorquez.
Here's what's trending on News Talk KZRG.
Republican midterm convention.
Supreme Court wrap-up.
Birthright citizenship ruling.
No one gives you more accurate weather more often than News Talk. KZRG. Heat advisory through at least 9 o'clock Friday night. Heading for a high today of 92 with sunshine. Your complete forecast with KZRG meteorologist Terry Smith. Following sports, that'll be at 7:38. It's sunny now, 73 in Neosho, 75 in Pittsburgh. Already 77 in Carthage, 77 in Joplin. FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310. News Talk KZRG.
President Donald Trump announces a midterm Republican convention.
There won't be any formal nominations like a presidential year. The midterm convention in Dallas, September 9th and 10th, after all the primaries are held, it's more like a rally to get out the vote in November. President Trump calls it a truly historic event to celebrate the great American comeback. A Democratic National Committee statement says the American people can't afford their bills or to fill up at the pump, and Republicans' response is to throw a multi-million-dollar televised celebration for Trump. Chris Foster, Fox News.
The Supreme Court wrapping up its term resolving cases involving transgender athletes, campaign finance rules, and birthright citizenship.
The U.S. Supreme Court struck down President Trump's executive order finding the 14th Amendment confers citizenship upon most people born here. President Trump said then Congress should work to end birthright citizenship now, and House Speaker Mike Johnson reacted.
I think it's clearly an issue that merits the attention of Congress. I don't know what the remedy is, how to define it, or the timeline. It would be premature for me to project that, but I will tell you that it's a big concern with the American people because it's been abused.
The justices also ruled states can block transgender athletes from competing in girls' and women's sports. They also ended caps on political party expenditures when coordinating with individual candidates, finding the limits violated the First Amendment. Jessica Rosenthal, Fox News.
Speaking of that birthright citizenship case, DHS Secretary Markwayne Mullin, former Oklahoma senator, criticized the court's ruling.
The 8th month, maybe 1, 2, 3 weeks left, give birth here, have a child, then they move back to China, raise a person underneath a communist regime, even though they're a citizen of the United States, and they come back over here. And in some cases, we see that they go to their universities, they're stealing intellectual property.
Sunshine 77, 7:33, News Talk, KZRG.
An update on a fatal pedestrian death in Joplin. News Talk KZRG's Steve Smith with more.
On June 25th, the JPD's major crash team determined that 86-year-old Jolly Matthews III of Hattiesburg, Mississippi, was attempting to cross Range Line Road near 32nd Street on foot when he was struck by a dune buggy-style vehicle. Matthews was pronounced dead at the scene. Now, the major crash team has determined that Matthews was struck by multiple vehicles while trying to cross the street. The JPD is asking anyone with information to contact police. The investigation remains open and active. Steve Smith, News Talk KZRG.
A Neosho man faces felony charges after allegedly holding a loaded gun to a woman's head during a Joplin domestic dispute. Police say that Cody Lastly allegedly threatened the victim and fired a round into the air. He's held on a $25,000 bond. If you see news, text us at 417-782-1310. Sunshine 77, 734, going on 735. News Talk KZRG.
Congress faces a September deadline to keep the federal government funded, but lawmakers are divided over spending plans. Missouri Senator Josh Hawley says a shutdown would be unfair to Missourians who rely on federal programs and services.
Missourians have paid their taxes. They're paying them even now as we speak. And to say to them, yeah, we're going to take all of your taxes, we're going to take all of your money, but we're not going to provide you any of the things you've paid for. You know, your Medicare may not get it. Medicaid reimbursements may not come. VA may not be available. That's ridiculous. It's just wrong.
Those destructive little minions return to the big screen, and boy, have they brought some friends.
The yellow, bouncy, and ridiculously strong minions from the Despicable Me movies are back with a new chapter featuring all new characters in the biggest global animated franchise in history, Minions and Monsters.
You wrote a monster movie?
Sí, con pica kaiju. Arr, arr.
What are you going to use for your monster?
The film tells the totally true story of how the Minions conquered Hollywood, became movie stars, lost everything, pitched a movie, then created monsters, unleashed them onto the world, and then banded together to try and save the planet from the mayhem they had just created. Michelle Polino, Fox News.
How'd the Cardinals do? Joe Morgan's got the answer.
A big night for the Redbirds in Atlanta. Nathan Church launched a crucial 3-run blast.
The pitch to Church is hit high and deep to right field. That one is deep. That one is gone. A 3-run homer for Nathan Church.
Nelson Valquez tacked on a solo shot, and Matthew Liberatore gave him 5 strong innings on the bump. It all added up to a 5-3 Cardinals victory over the National League East leading Braves. St. Louis looked to keep the momentum rolling in Game 2 tonight. First pitch is locked in for 6:15. Meanwhile, Junior Caminero is absolutely locked in for Tampa Bay. The Rays slugger homered for the 5th straight game last night, a 3-run rocket that fueled a massive 6-run second inning. The Rays never looked back, crushing the Kansas City Royals 10-4. Game 2 of that series gets underway tonight at 6:40. Sports is brought to you by Hickman Lawn and Landscape. For professional lawn and landscape solutions in Webb City and Joplin, choose the experts at Hickman Lawn and Landscape. Visit hickmanlawns.com. And that's a look at sports. I'm Joe Morgan for News Talk KZRG.
It's free at your app store. Download the Zimmer Storm Center app today. I'm Steve Scott.
And I'm Ted Pahorkes.
Next news, 8 o'clock, breaking news as it happens. No one gives you more accurate weather more often than News Talk, KZRG. Now, KZRG meteorologist Terry Smith.
Here is your KZRG forecast. With high pressure anchored over the eastern half of the country, the heat and humidity that we had yesterday persists the rest of the week. We do have a heat advisory through Friday evening at this point. Afternoons are hot, dry, 92 today, 93 tomorrow, but the heat index running 100 or higher, especially in the afternoon. I'm meteorologist Terry Smith in the KZRG Storm Center.
Clean sweep on the KZRG Storm Tracker radar this morning. Sunshine 73 in Neosho, 75 in Pittsburgh, 77 in Carl Junction, 77 in Joplin. News Talk KZRG with 100 weather updates every 24 hours. KZRG News Time 7:38.
Here are the facts about State Senator Jill Carter. Fact: in the State Senate, Jill Carter is consistently siding against Missouri parents, choosing radical liberal unions instead. Fact: Senator Jill Carter joined every single Democrat to vote against the Parents' Bill of Rights, blocking transparency and keeping parents in the dark about what's being taught in the classroom. Fact: Senator Jill Carter voted to allow radical ideologies to be taught in public schools. Fact: when it came time to actually pass the bill that delivered President Trump's school choice agenda, protections for homeschool families, better pay for teachers, and increased funding for public schools, Senator Jill Carter walked away. Stack the facts up, and it's clear to see that Senator Jill Carter isn't fighting for the issues that matter most to us.
Call State Senator Jill Carter and tell her to stop voting against Missouri parents and President Trump's agenda. 573-751-2173. Paid for by American Federation for Children, Inc.
Dr. Collins and Associates are Missouri licensed general dentists. They are not licensed in Missouri as specialists in the advertised dental specialty of prosthodontics.
Your smile tells your story. It shows your confidence, joy, and resilience, and it deserves care from a team that understands just how important it is. With 47 years of experience, Mid-America Dental and Hearing Center knows that great dentistry isn't just about procedures. It's about trust, comfort, and results you can be proud of. And they believe high-quality care should never come at a price tag that keeps you away. If you've been waiting for the right time, the right team, or the right place, this is it. Your smile matters. Let's take care of it.
I'm Brian George, CEO.
Good morning, everybody. Who do we have here? A little behind here. Mary said that is how Americans should feel for $2.50, but many have much hate in their hearts, and they hate America and everything good we stand for. Yeah, I think there's a lot of anti-American rhetoric out there, and strangely enough, a lot of it is coming from within America. A lot of it's coming from within America. Teresa says the comment section doesn't care about Tay-Tay, Steve.
Nobody cares. Morning, Rick.
Hey, Rick is here. Teresa says, I don't have another term for anchor baby, just don't care for it. All right, yeah. Mary says, anybody else having internet issues? Not here. Video keeps cutting and dogging it. Cutting out doggone it. Doggone it. That's a great phrase, doggone it. I love that phrase. Teresa said, nothing like a 400-degree oven in the summertime. Yeah, it's a great idea. Turning your oven on to bake a pizza when it's this hot out.
On News Talk KZRG.
From Studio 1Z, with the latest news, commentary, and weather, it's the KZRG Morning News Watch on News Talk KZRG.
7:41 is the current KZRG news time. Ted Bajorquez.
Steve Scott.
News Talk KZRG, and if you just heard my attempt at harmonizing, don't worry, I will be keeping my day job to the great dismay of the entire 4 states area. However, it is better. That is better than me trying to sing for the entire 4 states area, I assure you. 77, thanks, Steve. 77 in Joplin, 77 in Pittsburgh, 77 in Neosho. Are we going to be keeping that 77 train going on in northeast Oklahoma? Let's find out. No, it's 79 in Miami.
Oh, we're not
close.
We're not going to be keeping that temperature for very long.
Oh, is that so?
Yeah, it's going to go up to 92 today with sunshine and hot. It's going to feel like, are you ready for this? It's going to feel like 100 to 105 with the heat index.
Oh, my gosh. That's like, you might as well have just slapped me in the face, Steve.
Might be good. We had somebody talking about doing a pizza on an oven last night. You could probably take that pizza out and just put it on the concrete and let it cook there during the day. Tonight, 74, mostly clear. Tomorrow, sunny, hot, 93. 75, partly cloudy on Thursday night. Friday, 93, sunny and hot. Saturday, it's going to be sunny, hot, 94 with the heat index as high as 100 to 105 once again. Now, the heat advisory only runs all the way through Friday night at 9 at this point. That's all according to KZRG meteorologist Terry Smith.
Mm-hmm. Well, the Supreme Court had ruled just yesterday against President Donald Trump's executive order that would have effectively ended birthright citizenship for people born in the USA on U.S. soil to non-U.S. citizens. Now, the way that his executive order was written, more or less, is that birthright citizenship would have continued for people that are born to at least one American parent. So if there's one person that is a U.S. citizen having a kid with one person that isn't, that would have been fine still. If you were born to two people that are a U.S. citizen, that still would have been birthright citizenship. That would have been fine. But if you are born in America to people that are non-U.S. citizens, that are not permanent residents, you would not automatically have birthright citizenship, even if you were born on U.S. soil. Why was he doing this? Well, as an attempt to combat something called anchor babies. That's a common phrase. That's when somebody crosses into the country illegally, pops out a kid on U.S. soil, and then when they go to get deported, they said, well, hold on, my baby is an American citizen because they were born here, and I'm the only source of sustenance for this child. What are you going to do? Keep the baby here because he has every right to be here and kick his mother out? That doesn't make sense. So now you got to keep me here. That's sort of the name of the game for anchor babies. And in addition to that, another thing that he was trying to combat, the president was trying to combat with this executive order that he signed on day one of his second term in office, was something called birthing tourism.
Yeah, like from China, people flying in, getting ready to have a baby, fly in, have the baby, and then go back to China.
Yeah, and the concern about that is, well, if these people that are non-U.S. citizens just pop a kid out in America on a tourist visa, and then take the kid back to China or Russia or Bangladesh or wherever, then this kid is technically an American, but he's not raised in America, is not raised with American ideals, not raised with American values, but in 18 years has every right to vote in American elections. Is that a concern? The Trump administration decided it is a concern. And to combat that, he had this executive order to try and end birthright citizenship for people born on U.S. soil to non-U.S. citizens.
But
KZRG News Time 745.
Yesterday I was hearing some of the pundits talking about this. They were talking about the way that the ruling was issued by the Supreme Court, that they were talking about maybe it's showing a path to get it to where it is illegal to have birthright citizenship on certain things. They were telling
for non-U.S. citizens.
For non-U.S. citizens.
And
they
what
were
was
kind of
that
laying
path?
out a path. Well, they're saying basically the Congress need to get their rears in gear and get it taken care of in Congress and get the law passed.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And the reason why that's the case is because at question here is the 14th Amendment to the Constitution of the United States, which states in part, quote, all persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and of the state wherein they reside, end quote. Now, we as a society have agreed to interpret that as anyone born within the borders of this country. You are born on U.S. soil, you are an American, regardless of the citizenship status of their parents, regardless of the lineage, their lineage's place of origin. If that kid is popped out on U.S. soil, that's an American. That's how we've interpreted that. Trump brought that into question, and the Supreme Court ruled 6-3 against President Donald Trump bringing that interpretation into question. The status quo interpretation stands. Now, as Steve had mentioned, what can we do next if we want to solve this issue of birthing tourism, if we want to do what Trump was trying to do with an executive order, and that is change the Constitution, which sounds ridiculous, I know, but it has happened in the past. This country, the original Constitution had only 10 amendments. That was the Bill of Rights. Since then, we have changed the Constitution 17 other times. We now have 27 amendments to the Constitution, so it sounds silly, but it can happen. If we get our act together, Congress can change that 14th Amendment. And right now that the Supreme Court has rejected Trump's attempt at his executive order, really the only recourse that conservatives and people that are concerned about birthing tourism have is through Congress.
But the pundits I heard yesterday were even saying you didn't have to have a constitutional amendment. You just had to have a law stating what the constitutional amendment number 14 means.
Explain that. I don't understand.
Because if the amendment number 14 was more clear as to what it was supposed to be, if there was a law passed saying that you had to be a resident of the United States or one of the parents or whatever, that would be a baby that would get birthright citizenship, not one that's just flown in on tourism. That was what the pundits were talking about. If a law was made, it doesn't have to be a constitutional amendment, just one that's clarifying the 14th Amendment.
Wait, hold on. So we can pass laws that state what the Constitution states?
Well, that's what Congress is supposed to do, but they don't do it very often.
No, I know we can pass laws. I'm saying we could pass a law that states what the Constitution says. That's something we could do.
Clarifying what the Constitution is saying.
Okay, here's an issue I have with that, and I'm not questioning you. I'm sure that's
This
what
is
people.
what the pundits
I know
were
that's
saying
what the
yesterday,
pundits
yeah.
are saying. Here's the problem I have with that. If I'm a far left congressperson and I decide, you know what, I'm just going to pass a law, or I'm going to suggest a law that simply says, freedom of speech, that constitutional amendment, what it really means is conservatives don't actually get a voice. Like, if you could just pass a law that states what you think the Constitution is trying to state, doesn't that usurp the Constitution? Aren't we supposed to just go with what the Constitution states and not a lower level law that says what somebody thinks the Constitution states? Does that make sense?
From what I heard the pundits saying yesterday, it does make sense in one sense. That's kind of a play on words there. Because of the way that the Supreme Court did the ruling yesterday, they were laying out that the way to get this done was through a law passed through Congress instead of an executive order.
Yeah, I don't know. I got to be honest. If that's the case, that seems like a really dangerous game to play.
Well, that law, though, could then be ruled on again in the future by the Supreme Court.
Yeah, but like in my mind, I feel like people need to keep in mind that whatever powers we give the government that we like, for instance, the Trump administration, a lot of people like the Trump administration, whatever powers we give that administration doesn't stay with the administration, it stays with the office and with the government. So when that administration leaves, the next group that comes into power also gets that power.
That's why they were saying it needs to be passed by Congress, not by a presidential executive order.
I know, but if Congress passes that ability, then everyone gets that ability, right? Via law, right? So my concern with that is I can imagine a future where President AOC and her far left, cohort all get together and pass a law, quote unquote, that says we believe that the Second Amendment, the right to bear arms, doesn't actually mean everyone gets access to a gun. What it really means is this, and their own interpretation.
They've actually already done that.
I don't like that.
Those have actually already been thrown out by the Supreme Court, saying that those laws are illegal.
So then why are pundits talking about doing it for the 14th Amendment if the Supreme Court has already
ruled things out? They're talking about clarifying what the 14th Amendment means, what it actually means, instead of clarifying something else about guns.
But what if the far left, quote-unquote, passes a law clarifying?
Then the Supreme Court can say it's unconstitutional.
So why would they not do that with the 14th Amendment with the birthright citizenship ruling?
You'll have to ask Chief Roberts about that because I don't have the foggiest idea. That's way above my pay grade.
I think that what these pundits that you're reporting on are talking about don't make sense to my head. I think that's a bad idea.
Maybe you got a bad head.
Well, that is true. I do have a bad head, but I got a great face, so it kind of evens it out there.
Oh, geez.
What are your thoughts on all this? KZRG News Time 750.
And now, KZRG's Big Three on News Talk KZRG.
Number 3.
They're calling her the sole survivor. Republican Representative Lauren Boebert snagged the Republican primary win after running unopposed. She is the only Republican firebrand to have highly publicized disagreements with President Trump and actually make it out politically unscathed.
Number 2.
84-year-old Nancy Guthrie, the mother of Today Show co-host Savannah Guthrie, still missing. Now the FBI claims that 3 highly publicized ransom notes that they received from Nancy's alleged kidnappers were all fake. Second law enforcement source familiar with the matter confirms the FBI's assessment.
Number 1.
Former Southeast Kansas Sheriff Deputy Garrett Gaiasco of Baxter Springs pled guilty to 1 count of production of child pornography. The 25-year-old allegedly groomed a 16-year-old girl online and convinced her to send him nudes. These crimes took place between 2024 and 2025.
Now, the KZRG question of the day.
What are your thoughts on the FIFA games going on in the United States? We want to know. Go to KZRG's Facebook page or text us at 417-782-1310. My thought on the FIFA games going on is no thought. I haven't thought about it once. Soccer is a fake sport, and I will die on that hill. KZRG News Time 752. Coming up, your chance to win a complimentary taco, free chips and salsa from the award-winning Ghetto Tacos. On News Talk KZRG.
Here is your KZRG forecast. With high pressure anchored over the eastern half of the country, the heat and humidity that we had yesterday persists the rest of the week. We do have a heat advisory through Friday evening at this point. Afternoons are hot, dry, 92 today, 93 tomorrow, but the heat index running 100 or higher, especially in the afternoon. I'm meteorologist Terry Smith in the KZRG Storm Center.
I'm James Whitford from Watered Gardens Ministries, and I have a message for you today. Don't give up. Jesus said, "In this world you'll have trouble, but take courage, because I've overcome the world." These are hopeful words at a time when we see much trouble on the streets of our city. People with histories of trauma, struggling in homelessness, some sleeping under bridges on the streets of our city, many with poor mental health. We're all looking for solutions, and our response is, take courage. It's the name of Watered Gardens Ministries' new capital campaign. The Take Courage campaign involves 2 projects: a Christ-centered tiny home community for the homeless who are aging or disabled, and a new trauma-informed transitional shelter. These projects will provide real solutions, and much of the funding has already been raised. So, don't give up. I'm asking you to take courage with us and be part of the solution. Visit takecourage.wateredgardens.org.
Goldilocks needed a dumpster. The first one she rented was too small.
My garage stuff won't fit.
The second dumpster was too big.
I don't own that much junk.
Then she found the yellow box from Big John's roll-off service.
This dumpster is just right.
Big John's. Hey, I'm the Big John from Big John's Roll-Off Service.
And I'm the wife, Claire.
And our yellow box special gives you 15 to 20 yards of space and is the same footprint as a smaller box, but taller, so you can fit more.
It's perfect for garage cleanouts, home projects and remodels, moving, downsizing, or finally tackling that backyard pile you've been ignoring.
For just $400, you get 7 days of rental and the first 2,000 pounds of debris.
But we've only got 3 yellow boxes, so once they're booked, they're booked.
Reserve yours today at BigJohnsRolloff.com.
When you've got big waste, you need Big John's.
Good morning, everybody. Doggone it. All right, I missed, Rick is here, Mary, Teresa said, nothing like a good sidewalk pizza like our ancestors did before electricity. These kids these days. Spoiled with their ovens.
And air conditioners.
Grr.
We need to blame the French for not having air conditioning. It's causing our temperatures to be hot over here. Because they're not cooling them when it gets on their side of the earth.
Teresa said, bad head, good face. Like cold hands and warm heart. Mary said, well, I do not know how my grandmother cooked in summertime with no AC, raising 6 children. Had to be hard back then. Yeah, it's probably gross. I can't imagine turning my oven on in the summer without AC. That sounds awful.
Cake machines, flavorings, and accessories.
This is Daniel from Allied Restaurant Supply. Come see us at 1316 South Main in Joplin.
Local businesses are the backbone of our communities. Zimmer Marketing encourages you to shop local first.
Hey, your friend Sean Hannity here. Every weekday starting at 2, I am live on FM 102.9 and AM 1310 News Talk KZRG. Tune in. Stay up to date.
It's the KZRG Morning Challenge.
Your chance to win a complimentary taco, free chips and salsa from the award-winning Ghetto Taco.
To win, be the first one on the phone with the correct answer to the question. 417-782-1310. 417-782-1310. Ted, what's the question?
Today's question is an American history-themed question in honor of America 250. Here it is. Everyone knows that the Declaration of Independence, it was signed when, Steve?
In 1776.
On what date, Steve?
July the 4th.
That's exactly right. That's when it was signed. When was it first read to the public? 417-782-1310. The Declaration of Independence was first signed on July 4th, 1776. But when did the public first hear of it? 417-782-1310. We're looking for a specific time of day. Just kidding. We're looking for a date. 417-782-1310. What date was the Declaration of Independence first read aloud to the public?
And boy, their internet was slow back then.
Oh, I bet it was real slow. 417-782-1310. Steve, what are we giving away?
Complimentary taco plus chips and salsa from the award-winning Ghetto Tacos.
News Talk KZRG, what is your guess?
July 8th.
That is exactly right. The Declaration of Independence was first read to the public on July 8th of 1776. Who do we have here?
This is Bob Gilbert.
Hey, Bob Gilbert. What's your favorite radio station?
KZRG.
Oh, love to hear it, Bob. Love to hear it. Stay on the horn for us here. Bob A. will be with you in just a second, my good man. And you have just won a complimentary taco. Free chips and salsa from the award-winning Ghetto Taco. Stay on the line with us here, Bob. Yeah, it was first read to the public on July 8th, despite it being signed on the 4th. Kind of an interesting little factoid that not a lot of Americans know about.
That is very interesting.
Yeah, and now you know. Hey, happy birthday.
Hey, they had to pass it before they could read it.
Boo. How's our weather today, Steve?
Sunny and hot. We're expecting a high of 92, heat index of 100 or higher. That's pretty much the same forecast all the way through Saturday. Heat advisory is in effect until at least 9 o'clock on Friday night, according to KZRG meteorologist Terry Smith.
Coming up in less than 10 minutes at 8:10, Missouri State Highway Patrol's Corporal Sam Carpenter is going to be joining us here on News Talk KZRG. We're going to be talking about holiday weekend travel. Good morning.
The four states news, talk, and severe weather station. KZRG, KIXT, HD2, Joplin, a free service of Zimmer Marketing. It's 8 o'clock.
It was a foreign gift that President Trump accepted. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News, and it's a plane that Air Force One now for President Trump.
They just completed it. They made it appropriate for a president. That means the security and all of the different bells and whistles.
That was the president on the plane that Qatar donated. Before boarding it for his first flight, he'll go to North Dakota for the dedication of the Teddy Roosevelt Presidential Library. And before leaving, the president also said,
The denuclearization of Iran is moving along well. They've had very good meetings, and we'll see.
His special envoys are in Qatar for a second day of Iran talks through mediators, while in the Strait of Hormuz, a ship ran aground using a route not approved by Iran, which keeps trying to control passage through the key shipping lane. Another socialist wins a Democratic primary, this time in Colorado.
We will not wait to take the fight to Donald Trump and the oligarchy.
Maylot Quiros defeated a congresswoman who's been in the House longer than Quiros has been alive. Diana DeGette was first elected in 1996, the year before Quiros was born. She's expected to win that seat now in November in a heavily Democratic Denver district. Her win comes a week after two socialists primaried two Democratic congressmen out in New York. Republicans still hope to keep control of Congress, and they're planning a midterm convention.
There won't be any formal nominations like a presidential year. The midterm convention in Dallas, September 9th and 10th, after all the primaries are held, it's more like a rally to get out the vote in November. President Trump calls it a truly historic event to celebrate the great American comeback.
That's Fox's Chris Foster. After the Supreme Court refused to consider a Trump appeal in a civil case, author E. Jean Carroll has asked a New York judge to force the president to pay her $5 million. That was the jury verdict in her lawsuit that accused the president of sexually abusing her decades ago and defaming her, denying the accusations. America's listening to Fox News.
No one gives you more accurate weather more often than News Talk. KZRG. Heat advisory in effect through at least 9 o'clock on Friday night, heading for a high of 92. Heat index could feel as high as 100 or above. Your complete forecast with KZRG meteorologist Terry Smith following sports. That will be at 8:08. Sunshine, 77 in Neosho, 77 in Pittsburgh, 80 now in Galena, 80 in Joplin. FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310, News Talk, KZRG. A Joplin teenager charged with 3 counts of negligent homicide.
It was October of 2024. Now 19-year-old Jonathan Spencer was behind the wheel of a speeding car that went off of Highway 10 between Miami and Seneca and overturned several times. Now Spencer's accused of being responsible for the deaths of his passengers 16-year-old Isaac Dunn, 17-year-old Chance Milton, and 18-year-old Brent Taylor. Those charges against Spencer filed this past week. I'm Cy Albright, News Talk KZRG.
Ending alien secrecy. Southwest Missouri U.S. Congressman Eric Burleson offered up his amendment to the House Rules Committee.
For too long, records concerning UAPs have been scattered across agencies, shielded by contractors, or lost to time. The president has changed this. He has championed historic progress toward genuine disclosure, declassification, and transparency. Congress needs to support those measures now.
But just hours after these words were spoken, that very same committee decided not to include it in this year's defense spending bill.
A proposed new home for the Kansas City Royals taking another step forward in the state of Missouri.
Kansas City's approval process for a proposed downtown Royals Stadium district begins next month. A staff review meeting is scheduled for July 14th with a public hearing before the City Plan Commission set for August 19th. The plan includes a baseball stadium, entertainment district, and additional retail near Crown Center. Matt Pilger, Missouri Net.
If you see news, text us at 417-782-1310. Sunshine 80, it's 804 News Talk, KZRG.
Independence Day is this weekend, which means fireworks, which sometimes means fires. Dustin Luno with the Joplin Fire Department told News Talk KZRG the one thing you definitely don't want to do is sweep up all of your spent fireworks and immediately put it in a trash can right next to your house.
I would challenge you to, pull all your spent fireworks into a pile and, leave it in a nice spot on your gravel drive or your driveway or even at the curb.
Luno says your best bet is to just leave those fireworks in a neat pile well away from your house overnight until all the embers are extinguished.
A Kickstart for Habitat, Neosho Area Habitat for Humanity recently received a $5,000 grant from the W.R. Corley Memorial Trust. Chris Finsky of Neosho Area Habitat for Humanity says the grant will be used and prepared for 20th Habitat House. More inside the KZRG app. How'd the Cardinals do last night? Joe Morgan has the answer.
A big night for the Redbirds in Atlanta. Nathan Church launched a crucial 3-run blast.
The pitch to Church is hit high and deep to right field. That one is deep. That one is gone. A 3-run homer for Nathan Church.
Nelson Valquez tacked on a solo shot, and Matthew Liberatore gave him 5 strong innings on the bump. It all added up to a 5-3 Cardinals victory over the National League East leading Braves. St. Louis looked to keep the momentum rolling in Game 2 tonight. First pitch is locked in for 6:15. Meanwhile, Junior Caminero is absolutely locked in for Tampa Bay. The Rays slugger homered for the 5th straight game last night, a 3-run rocket that fueled a massive 6-run second inning. The Rays never looked back, crushing the Kansas City Royals 10-4. Game 2 of that series gets underway tonight at 6:40. Sports is brought to you by Hickman Lawn and Landscape. For professional lawn and landscape solutions in Webb City and Joplin, choose the experts at Hickman Lawn and Landscape. Visit hickmanlawns.com. And that's a look at sports. I'm Joe Morgan for News Talk KZRG.
Download the Zimmer Storm Center app today. It's free of charge, available at your app store. I'm Steve Scott.
And I'm Ted Bojorquez.
Next news at 8:30, breaking news as it happens. No one gives you more accurate weather more often than News Talk, KZRG. Now, KZRG meteorologist Terry Smith.
Here is your KZRG forecast. No signs of the heat and humidity easing up. Heat advisory until Friday evening. 92 today, heat index 100. I'm meteorologist Terry Smith in the KZRG Storm Center.
Weather is the service of Buffalo Run Casino. This 4th of July, come enjoy live music from Big Smitty, food trucks, family-friendly activities, a military flyover, and the largest fireworks show in the area. Let the good times run at Buffalo Run Casino.
Clean sweep this morning on the KZRG Storm Tracker radar. 77 in Neosho, 77 Pittsburgh, 80 in Webb City, 80 in Joplin. News Talk KZRG with 100 weather updates every 24 hours. KZRG News Time, 8:07.
Hey, want a free checking account from Community Bank and Trust?
Free? Yeah, right. What's the catch?
Well, there's no catch.
There's always a catch. I bet there's a minimum balance requirement.
Nope, their absolutely free checking account is free from minimum balance requirements.
Okay, then I bet there's a monthly service charge.
Actually, there's not. Their absolutely free checking is free from a monthly service charge.
So when you say free, you mean?
Free, gratis, countless, liberated.
Wow. free, so I could check my balance, pay bills, use my debit card, and bank from my phone.
Without paying a monthly fee.
Now that's my kind of free.
Absolutely free checking, the account that gives you all the features you need for zero monthly fees from Community Bank and Trust. Get started at one of the local employee-owned CBT locations today or at cbthomebank.com. Community Bank and Trust, where trust is so important. It's in our name. Other fees such as NSF, overdraft, sustained overdraft fees, etc. may apply. See fee schedule for details. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender. NMLS number 580491.
I'm Dr. Lemus from Team Dental of Joplin. There aren't any dentists around here that are open consistently on Saturday or Friday for that matter. So I saw a need. I grew up blue collar. Sometimes you can't waste some PTO or vacation day on going to the dentist. You get a lot of grateful people, or a lot of grateful families that can actually get their work done on Saturday or Friday. And these girls have bought into that vision. When I bought the practice, I named the practice Team Dental of Joplin. I understand that no large undertaking is done alone. It has to be done with an amazing team. I really feel like they're the hardest working staff in all 4 states because we're all sacrificing time from our families to help our community out. It means something to me. It means something to them. I'm Dr. Lemus from Team Dental of Joplin, where we specialize in dentistry that fits your schedule.
Team Dental of Joplin, your neighborhood practice for your whole family.
For 250 years, Americans have believed in one powerful idea. We're meant to live free. We're free to work hard, free to move, free to enjoy life without being held back. But every day, I don't know about you, my body hurts, aches and pains. If they're slowing you down, it might be time to declare your independence from pain. I started taking Relief Factor years ago to get my life back, to thrive again, and I still take it every day because it works for me. Relief Factor is 100% drug-free. It's research-based formula that is designed to help your body fight inflammation, one of the root causes of pain. It's not a quick fix. It's not a temporary mask. It works from the inside out at the source. Relief Factor, created so people could get back to living life on their own terms, walking, working, exercising, enjoy the moments that matter. This year, as we celebrate 250 years of American independence, take a stand for your own freedom. To commemorate, they're offering a special patriotic price, just $17.76. Declare your independence from pain and take control. $17.76. 3-week quick start, ready for you right now. Visit relieffactor.com, 800-4RELIEF.
The latest is always heard on News Talk KZRG. Broadcasting from the Downstream Casino Resort Studio, this is News Talk KZRG. From Studio 1Z, with the latest news, commentary, and weather, it's the KZRG Morning News Watch on News Talk KZRG.
8:10 is the current KZRG news time. It's FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310, News Talk KZRG. Joining us live this morning in Studio 1Z is Corporal Sam Carpenter with the Missouri State Highway Patrol. Corporal, thanks for being here today.
Absolutely. Good morning.
Well, Corporal, this weekend, this Saturday, is America 250, the birth date of, let's be honest, the greatest country on planet Earth.
Absolutely.
A lot of people are going to be celebrating, which unfortunately tends to lead to a very dangerous combination of drinking and driving. Yeah. And my first question for you this morning, Corporal Sam Carpenter of the Missouri State Highway Patrol, what are some of the basic do's and don'ts of this deadly combo?
Yeah, well, the first one is just don't, right? You kind of nailed it there. It's pretty simple. If you're going to do the previous aforementioned drinking, don't do the driving. It really isn't a hard decision. A lot of people have difficulty with it for some reason. We don't quite understand that. Just make a plan. That's all you got to do. Before you start your evening, just have a plan. If you're going to be the one drinking, make sure you've got somebody that's not, that's going to drive you. It really is that simple. If everybody in your group, no one's willing to do that, you got taxis here in Joplin, you've got Ubers, Lyft, they're everywhere around here, and more than likely where you live, there's at least one that's going to come get you. So utilize those share ride programs, right? And this also applies to our lakes and our streams too, like especially our lakes. If you're the one in control of the boat, same rules apply. Be the sober captain. And if you want to have fun, pay somebody to drive your boat. Have a friend that is familiar with your boat drive, something like that. But we got to keep the sober person behind the wheel.
Yeah, absolutely. It's Missouri State Highway Patrol's Corporal Sam Carpenter here on News Talk KZRG. And it drives me nuts. I hear people all the time say, well, Ubers are expensive. Oh, or like your idea, maybe pay someone to drive your boat for the day. Oh, that's expensive. And yeah, that's a fun and dandy argument and all. But you know what's really expensive is getting arrested for drinking and driving.
Right.
Between the potential of losing your job, the court costs, the bail fee, all of that. I mean, walk us through that financial cost.
Yeah, I think here recently the average cost of a DWI prosecution and all that is somewhere around $10,000. So I don't think unless you've got 100 and something foot boat, you're not going to be paying anywhere near that for a boat captain. And Ubers in town, I don't know what they are now, $10 to get across town, something to that nature. You know, there's no comparison, right?
No.
Spend the money. You're going to spend a drink around here is going to be close to what your Uber is going to cost. You know, have one less drink, pay for your Uber if money's that big of an issue to you. But the cost of the prosecution and trying to get out of it or keep it off your driving record for a DWI is really astronomically high. So we don't want that for anybody. That's not our goal. Our goal is to keep sober drivers on the road and drunk drivers off the road. That's our goal. It's not arrests. Right, we would rather go through this holiday weekend and every other day of the year, never arrest another person because everybody's doing it right. That would be ideal.
Yeah.
And maybe someday.
Fingers crossed, right?
Yeah.
It's Missouri State Highway Patrol's Corporal Sam Carpenter here on News Talk KZRG. So aside from drinking and driving on Missouri roadways during this holiday weekend, what are some of the other safety tips that you would recommend for drivers separate from the whole alcohol thing?
Right. So obviously we always talk about speed. Watch that. That's the number one contributing factor in our serious injury crashes and fatal crashes. And buckle up every time you get in the car, right? Everybody, for that matter. We have a lot of people, you know, it's just, the driver's buckled up or the front two people are buckled up and the people in the back seat don't. I mean, there's seatbelts back there, you know, for a reason. If you're in the vehicle, put your seatbelt on. The other thing I would caution everybody against this weekend, because everybody likes to celebrate by lighting their money on fire and watching it explode, is don't do that out of your car. Don't do that off your boat, right? That's not only is it not legal, but it's super dangerous, right? Especially out of your car. You know, if that hits somebody else, you light it and drop it. You know, there's a lot of bad things that can happen.
If that happens, you got a bomb in your car or something.
Exactly. And some of those are pretty powerful, right? We hear the stories every year of somebody losing a finger or an eye or something like that. But yeah, don't be shooting fireworks off out of your moving vehicle, be it on the water or on the road. Again, we're looking for everybody to have a safe weekend. We want you to have the best time you can possibly have. Like you said, this one's only going to happen once, right? I guess you could say that every year, but this is a big one. It's 250, you know, and everybody's going to be pulling out all the stops, and more power to you for that. And we encourage that. We just want everybody to be safe, and you have a responsibility to also keep the other people around you safe. So just do the right thing. Everybody knows what that is.
Yeah. The other thing I want to talk to you about this morning, Missouri State Highway Patrol Corporal Sam Carpenter here on News Talk KZRG. A lot of people are going to be trying to get places for the holiday to celebrate, and there's going to be traffic. There's going to be a lot of people on the roadways. Road rage, anger, frustration. Is that an issue that the Missouri State Highway Patrol sees frequently?
I mean, we see the results of it frequently, and the results of it are typically a crash and or a roadside fight or something like that. We've all experienced it. We've probably all experienced having it a little bit. You know, it's congested. There's a lot of people out there doing things wrong. Honestly, the biggest thing we see is the person that's super angry about the car in front of them that won't get out of the way, but they're trying to get around them going 10 miles an hour over the speed limit. You're generating your own rage in doing that. You know, if the car in front of you is going the speed limit or over the speed limit and you're mad because you can't pass them, that's irrational. That doesn't even make any sense. But we have people out there almost having strokes. Their blood pressure's so high because they're so angry because they can't drive 85 miles an hour down the highway. You know, you're in the wrong. It's all on you. So just slow down, relax. You're going to get there. To make up time, we've talked about it here before, to make up time on a road trip by speeding, you have to speed excessively for hours for it to make a difference. You're not going to do it.
Yeah.
So if you're worried about time, leave early. My suggestion is just relax. Drive the speed limit. Let the other people do the things wrong, and you'll probably pass them, seeing one of us sitting behind them on the shoulder, educating them on what they did wrong, right? So don't be that person. It's just, life's too short. Let's have a good, safe holiday weekend, and just take your time.
Yeah. It's Missouri State Highway Patrol's Corporal Sam Carpenter here on News Talk KZRG. News time just before 8:20. So, Corporal, if there is an accident on Missouri roadways this weekend, what do you recommend people do when they see that?
If you're driving by and you see a crash?
If you're driving by and you see, or if you're the victim of a crash, do you get out of your car? Do you stay in the car? Do you call someone?
Right. All those. Well, not all those things. Well, stay in the car, obviously. That's the safest place for you.
Always.
Especially if you're still in the traffic way, stay in your vehicle with your seatbelt on. Unless, obviously, there's a reason why you shouldn't. Your car's on fire, something of that nature. If you're in a two-vehicle crash and nobody's injured and your vehicles are drivable, state law requires you to get them out of the road. Just move them to the shoulder, get them out of the traffic way so you don't cause a traffic hazard or congestion that could cause another crash. And obviously, call 911 or star 55, get you directly to the Highway Patrol in Missouri. Either of those two work, and we'll get you the resources that you need to take care of your issue.
Excellent. Corporal Sam Carpenter of the Missouri State Highway Patrol, is there anything else you think people should know about safe traveling during this holiday weekend?
Just reemphasize the operate within the laws, put your seatbelt on, and you'll have a much better weekend if you do those things. Trust me, if you're safe, you'll enjoy it better.
Yeah, exactly. Corporal Carpenter, thank you very much for joining us this morning.
Always a pleasure.
We'll talk to you again soon, Corporal. KZRG News Time 8:20.
And now KZRG's Big Three on News Talk KZRG.
Number 3.
They're calling her the sole survivor. Republican Representative Lauren Boebert snagged the Republican primary win after running unopposed. She is the only Republican firebrand to have highly publicized disagreements with President Trump to actually make it out politically unscathed.
Number 2.
84-year-old Nancy Guthrie, the mother of Today Show co-host Savannah Guthrie, still missing. Now the FBI claims the 3 highly publicized ransom notes they received from Nancy's alleged kidnappers were all fake. A second law enforcement source confirmed the matter of the FBI's assessment.
Number 1.
Former Southeast Kansas Sheriff Deputy Garrett Gaiasco of Baxter Springs pled guilty to 1 count of production of child pornography. The 25-year-old allegedly groomed a 16-year-old girl online and convinced her to send him nudes. These crimes took place between 2024 and 2025.
Now, the KZRG question of the day.
What are your thoughts on the FIFA games going on in the United States right now? We want to know. Leave us an open mic message on the KZRG app or text us at 417-782-1310. Coming up, a look at technology with Kim Commando on News Talk KZRG.
Here is your KZRG forecast. With high pressure anchored over the eastern half of the country, the heat and humidity that we had yesterday persists the rest of the week. We do have a heat advisory through Friday evening at this point. Afternoons are hot, dry, 92 today, 93 tomorrow, but the heat index running 100 or higher, especially in the afternoon. I'm meteorologist Terry Smith in the KZRG Storm Center.
Here are the facts about State Senator Jill Carter. Fact: in the State Senate, Jill Carter is consistently siding against Missouri parents, choosing radical liberal unions instead. Fact: Senator Jill Carter joined every single Democrat to vote against the Parents' Bill of Rights, blocking transparency and keeping parents in the dark about what's being taught in the classroom. Fact: Senator Jill Carter voted to allow radical ideologies to be taught in public schools. Fact: when it came time to actually pass the bill that delivered President Trump's school choice agenda, protections for homeschool families, better pay for teachers.
Good morning, everybody. Hey, we'll see you later, Mary. Thanks for hanging out.
Call State Senator Jill Carter and tell her to stop voting against Missouri parents and President Trump's agenda.
What would I do without Hot Ted, Sultry Steve, and Mysterious Morgan of the Morning? Mysterious Morgan of the Morning? Oh, I like that alliteration. Figures you needed a nickname, too.
I know. I can't find my flashlight, beef jerky, or emergency storm crocs. Dad must have found everything, because now he's in there negotiating with the breaker box. Mom's hiding by the refrigerator trying to...
Trump defending himself equates to defamation.
I'm going to do student loan overhaul begin.
The lights are back. The air conditioner is working. The nuggets are saved.
Folks, summer storms around here can knock your power out faster than Jenna can empty the snack cabinet.
Hey!
And the heat can make your house feel hotter than going down the metal slide in elementary school.
That's why IPOC Electric and Solar installs dependable whole home generators so your family stays cool, comfortable, and powered up when storms roll through. No more flashlight scavenger hunts. No more charging your phone in the truck.
Call IPOC Electric and Solar today.
When the power goes out, don't sweat it. Just IPOC it.
IPOC Electric and Solar, keeping your family and business powered through every storm.
Why is the house so hot?
The thermostat says it's 72.
Oh, does it say 72? Thanks, Earl. I can read.
When your house can't keep its cool, neither can you. Call A1 Climate Control. Today's AC systems aren't cheap, but A1 can help you stay cool and in budget. If you need a new system, A1 has financing available with approved credit. They're ready to install the right Amana heating and air unit to fit your needs. Let A1 help you keep your cool and schedule an appointment today. 417-627-0411.
Millions of people are using AI chatbots to brainstorm, then turning that advice into a real plan. Before you act on yours, listen up. The chatbot's big idea might be delusional, and it's got you thinking some pretty out there thoughts too. I'm Kim Commando for Splash of AI. Every Thursday, I show regular folks how to use AI to solve real problems, save money, and get ahead. It's free at splashofai.com. Now, when I say delusional, I don't mean the chatbot's crazy. It's just computers running fancy math, and you're not crazy either. Here's the catch. The second you start typing, a chatbot tells you what you want to hear. It mirrors you. It echoes you right back. The whole trick is making you feel like you're talking to a someone, not a something. Never forget, it has no empathy. It's an illusion. They call it artificial intelligence. Just don't let it talk you into natural stupidity. And if you're not ahead in AI, you are left behind. Get my free newsletter at splashofai.com. Everyone's talking about artificial intelligence, but most of what you're hearing is either hype or hype around more hype. I'm Kim Commando, and every Thursday, I will cut right through it just for you. It's my new free newsletter. I called it Splash of AI, and it shows regular people how AI is actually saving time and real money right now. We're talking thousands of dollars, hours back in your week, and real tools that you can start using today, even if you're not a tech person. And of course, there's no jargon, there's no fluff, just the stuff that actually works. Explained in plain English the way that only I can do it. And it's totally free. It lands in your inbox every single Thursday. And once you read it, you'll wonder how you managed without it. So sign up right now while you're thinking about it. Go to splashofai.com. Artificial intelligence is not going away. It's only going to get more intrusive in your life. You need to know what's going on. And my free newsletter will help you out. So sign up right now at splashofai.com. That's splashofai.com. Your Thursday mornings are about to get a whole lot smarter.
Clay Travis here. And Buck Sexton. Make your day better and come hang with us from 11 to 2 p.m. right here on News Talk KZRG.
We talk news, politics, sports, and also some fun culture stuff, too.
It's the KZRG Morning News Watch on News Talk KZRG.
Just after 8:25 in the a.m., Ted Bajorquez.
And Steve Scott.
It's just after 8:25. We're not even at 9 in the morning yet, and it's already 80 degrees in Joplin, 81 in Pittsburgh, 81 in Miami, 79 in Neosho. Oh, my goodness, we're going to be melting today.
No, we're not. You and I are in air conditioning.
Well, I'm going to be melting because if you throw a bucket of water on me, I melt.
Yeah, as soon as you walk out to the car, then you're going to be melting.
Oh, I see.
Heat advisory in effect until at least 9 o'clock on Friday night. Sunny, hot. 92 for the actual high today. Could feel like as high as 100 or above with the heat index. Tonight, mostly clear down to 74. Repeat tomorrow, sunny, hot, 93 with the heat index again above 100. Thursday night, partly cloudy, 75. Then on Friday, sunny, hot, 93, heat index above 100. Saturday, high of 94 with the heat index above 100 again. So that heat index or that heat advisory might end up being extended. Maybe. We're keeping our eyes on that. That weather forecast, according to KZRG meteorologist Terry Smith.
Yeah, that's exactly right. We're to be keeping you up to date with all things weather on FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310, News Talk KZRG. Some exciting news for you this morning. And
Tay-Tay and Travis are getting married. Oh, no, wait a minute.
No,
we
I
did
said
that
exciting news
Oh, okay.
that people care about, Steve. No one cares about Tay-Tay and Trey. That's Travis Kelce. Now, I care about Travis Kelce slightly if, the Chiefs are doing well. But until that happens, I don't really care what he's doing.
Hopefully he doesn't fumble at the wedding.
But no, Donald Trump, president of these here United States, he has approved Missouri's disaster declaration request regarding storms. This storm season, News Talk KZRG, we've been tracking all the severe weather for you as we always do. When severe weather breaks out, KZRG breaks in. But this last storm season was particularly brutal. I mean, I really don't remember such a volatile storm season as volatile as this in recent years. I think there was a ton this year.
Yeah, well, it seemed like a lot more than normal.
So much so that Missouri Governor Mike Kehoe had requested a federal disaster declaration. Now, what does that mean? Very basically, it means that the state of Missouri gets extra federal funding to help rebuild infrastructure and to help families that were negatively impacted by severe weather. President Donald Trump, late last night, he approved that declaration disaster, disaster declaration. There it is. I almost had it. The
Very
point
close.
is, the point is that Missouri is going to be getting a little help after that severe weather.
That's good.
Now, the FEMA had been going around a number of counties in the 4 states area, or I should say in southwest Missouri, and also in Missouri as a whole, just across the whole state.
Right.
And each county is going to be getting a certain little slice of that pie. Now, SEMA, the State Emergency Management Agency, which is sort of the little brother to FEMA, the Federal Emergency Management Agency, they have not officially declared how much each county will get. How much will Jasper County get? We're not sure yet, but when we find out, we'll let you know. What we do know is that Jasper County, southwest Missouri, is going to be getting a little federal help with cleanup operations and costs following that severe weather that we had over this last couple of months. So, keep an eye out for that. Coming up in less than 2 minutes, a pretty famous singer is dead. Good morning.
At 8:31, I'm Steve Scott.
And I'm Ted Bojorquez.
Here's what's trending on News Talk KZRG.
A POTUS profiting allegations.
Student loan overhaul starts.
Village People singer dead.
No one gives you more accurate weather more often than News Talk. KZRG. Heat advisory through 9 o'clock on Friday night. Heading for a high of 92. Your complete forecast with KZRG meteorologist Terry Smith. Following sports. That'll be at 8:38. Sunshine, 79 Neosho, 81 in Pittsburgh, 80 in Galena, 80 in Joplin. AM 1310, FM 102.9, 105.9. News Talk, KZRG.
Promoting and regulating cryptocurrency has been pretty successful for President Donald Trump.
The Trump administration has been working on regulating cryptocurrency with consultation of the industry. The president has vowed to make the U.S. the crypto capital of the world. The Trump family businesses have also endorsed crypto through investing, and it paid off. A filing with the U.S. Office of Government Ethics found President Trump reported more than $1 billion in crypto-related income for 2025. In a statement to Fox Business, White House spokesperson Anna Kelly dismissed conflict of interest concerns, saying the administration's crypto policies are aimed at promoting U.S. innovation and economic growth. Jenny Coselda, Fox News.
Major changes to the federal student loan system go into effect today.
About 43 million Americans currently have student loan debt totaling nearly $1.7 trillion, according to the Department of Education. The changes to the student loan system mean some will face higher monthly payments on their loans, while other borrowers will face new loan limits. The Biden-era repayment program called Saving on a Valuable Education, or SAVE, is ending, affecting about 7 million borrowers. There's a new cap on the amount of money grad students can borrow, and there will only be 2 repayment plans that new student loan borrowers can choose from, the tiered standard repayment plan or the repayment assistance plan, which some student loan advocates say could result in higher monthly payments. Tanya J. Powers, Fox News.
The front man for an iconic 70s group has died.
He was the original lead singer and co-founder of a group which swept dance floors in the 70s. Victor Willis, frontman for The Village People, often performed as a helmeted police officer to some of the group's biggest hits, many co-written by him, including Macho Man in the Navy and YMCA. Willis left the group in 1980, rejoined briefly in 82. In 2012, he won a landmark ruling in a case which allows recording artists and writers to reclaim their work. In 2017, another reunion, remaining lead singer of The Village People till his death Tuesday at 74, after what the group said was a brief but aggressive illness. His wife shared a similar statement. Lillian Wu, Fox News.
Sunshine 80, it's now 8:34 News Talk, KZRG. An update on a fatal pedestrian death in Joplin. News Talk KZRG Steve Smith with the story.
On June 25th, the JPD's major crash team determined that 86-year-old Jolly Matthews III of Hattiesburg, Mississippi, was attempting to cross Range Line Road near 32nd Street on foot when he was struck by a dune buggy-style vehicle. Matthews was pronounced dead at the scene. Now, the major crash team has determined that Matthews was struck by multiple vehicles while trying to cross the street. The JPD is asking anyone with information to contact police. The investigation remains open and active. Steve Smith, News Talk KZRG.
A Neosho man facing felony charges after allegedly holding a loaded gun to a woman's head during a Joplin domestic dispute. Police say that Cody Lastly allegedly threatened the victim and fired a round into the air. He is held on a $25,000 bond. It's now 80 at 7. Make that 8:34. News Talk KZRG. If you see news, text us at 417-782-1310.
A Missouri health expert says there are several common mistakes people should avoid when it comes to sun protection. MU healthcare dermatologist Dr. Jordan Parker says one mistake is getting a base tan before going on their summer vacation.
In reality, that really does not provide additional protection. And then the second most common mistake I tend to see are folks that are getting SPF 4 or SPF 10. I mean, these are honestly kind of a waste of money.
Dr. Parker says if you're going to get an SPF, it's got to be at least 30.
Those destructive little minions are returning to the big screen, and now they brought along some friends.
The yellow, bouncy, and ridiculously strong minions from the Despicable Me movies are back with a new chapter featuring all new characters in the biggest global animated franchise in history, Minions: A Monster.
You wrote a monster movie?
Sí, con pica kaiju. Arr, arr.
What are you going to use for your monster?
The film tells the totally true story of how the Minions conquered Hollywood, became movie stars, lost everything, pitched a movie, then created monsters, unleashed them onto the world, and then banded together to try and save the planet from the mayhem they had just created. Michelle Polino, Fox News.
Joe Morgan has the details on how the Cardinals did last night.
A big night for the Redbirds in Atlanta. Nathan Church launched a crucial 3-run blast.
The pitch to Church is hit high and deep to right field. That one is deep. That one is gone. A 3-run homer for Nathan Church.
Nelson Valquez tacked on a solo shot, and Matthew Liberatore gave him 5 strong innings on the bump. It all added up to a 5-3 Cardinals victory over the National League East leading Braves. St. Louis looked to keep the momentum rolling in Game 2 tonight. First pitch is locked in for 6:15. Meanwhile, Junior Caminero is absolutely locked in for Tampa Bay. The Rays slugger homered for the 5th straight game last night, a 3-run rocket that fueled a massive 6-run second inning. The Rays never looked back, crushing the Kansas City Royals 10-4. Game 2 of that series gets underway tonight at 6:40. Sports is brought to you by Hickman Lawn and Landscape. For professional lawn and landscape solutions in Webb City and Joplin, choose the experts at Hickman Lawn and Landscape. Visit hickmanlawns.com. And that's a look at sports. I'm Joe Morgan for News Talk KZRG.
Download the Zimmer Storm Center app today. It's free at your app store. I'm Steve Scott.
And I'm Ted Bojorquez.
Next news, 9 o'clock breaking news as it happens. No one gives you more accurate weather more often than News Talk KZRG. Now, KZRG meteorologist Terry Smith.
Here is your KZRG forecast. With high pressure anchored over the eastern half of the country, the heat and humidity that we had yesterday persists the rest of the week. We do have a heat advisory through Friday evening at this point. Afternoons are hot, dry, 92 today, 93 tomorrow, but the heat index running 100 or higher, especially in the afternoon. I'm meteorologist Terry Smith in the KZRG Storm Center.
No rain showing up this morning on the KZRG Storm Tracker radar. 79 in Neosho, 81 in Pittsburgh, 80 in Webb City, 80 in Joplin. News Talk KZRG with 100 weather updates every 24 hours. KZRG News Time going on 8:39.
Now that's a job for JB.
That's a job for JB.
That's a job for JB.
Homeowners everywhere are letting their neighbors know. If you have electrical issues, call on the residential specialists, JB Electric. When it comes to something as important as your home's electrical system, good enough just won't cut it. At JB Electric, we operate by the JB standards, a set of rules that all of our electricians live by. One of those standards is integrity. We will always shoot you straight, even if it's not the news you were hoping for. A job done right isn't just something that we say. It's what we actually put into practice every day.
I'm Joshua Blood with JB Electric. We believe you should get the whole truth and nothing but the truth when it comes to your electrical issues. That's one of our JB Electric standards of excellence. When you have electrical issues with your home, that's a job for JB. Call us today at 417-647-3100 or get started today at gojbelectric.com. That's gojbelectric.com.
Jane Dawson did something smart. She saved hundreds on auto insurance switching to Progressive. With the money she saved, she got herself a pricey bird feeder with an ultra-high-def camera. Should Jane have just bought a regular bird feeder? Yes. Is it hard for her to admire nature when the camera doubles as the bird's potty? Also, yes. But it's Jane's savings, and if she wants to spend her time watching the digestive habits of the white-breasted nuthatch, we say you go, girl. Switch and see if you could save with Progressive and treat yourself. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Party at your place this summer? Fix things up inside and out with July 4th deals, now at Lowe's. Get up to 45% off select major appliances and save up to an additional 25% off when you bundle select major appliances. Plus, save $80 on the select Charbroil Performance Series gas grill, now $299. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 7/8. While supplies last, selection varies by location. See Lowe's.com for more details.
You've seen the ads. Build your own website in 5 minutes. Plug in this app and that widget and watch customers magically appear.
Yeah, I tried that. And now I've got a website that looks like everyone else's, and nobody in town can even find it.
At Zimmer Marketing, we're your neighbors. We live here. We shop here. We know the 4 states and the people you're trying to reach.
So when Zimmer built my site, they didn't just have some template I had to fill in. They actually asked about my business, my customers, my goals, and then they built a website that actually brings people through the door.
A website isn't code. It's a salesperson working for you 24/7. So should your website be built by a generic robot somewhere far away? Or custom built by a local pro that understands the market?
Yeah, I'll take the local pro.
It's real websites for real local businesses. Get started today at ZimmerMarketing.com. Our local web team is ready to start your website the right way. So start now at ZimmerMarketing.com. Zimmer Marketing. It just works.
The world moves fast, so tune in to me, Mark Levin, every weekday starting at 5 on News Talk KZRG for the latest news, politics, and commentary. You won't want to miss it.
From Studio 1Z, with the latest news, commentary, and weather, it's the KZRG Morning News Watch on News Talk KZRG.
Well, in case you weren't sure what time of year it is, the heat this morning is reminding you it is in fact summer. We are already at 80 in Joplin, 81 in Pittsburgh, 79 in Neosho, 82 in the Grove, Oklahoma area, and it's not even 9 in the morning yet.
Oh, I can't wait till about 3 this afternoon when we top out.
And what are we topping out at?
92 for the actual high, but it's not going to be feeling like that. It's going to be feeling like 100 or higher, possibly as high as 105. Therefore, we have a heat advisory in effect until Friday night at 9 o'clock. Tonight, not much cooler, 74 for the overnight low, mostly clear. Tomorrow, rinse and repeat, or actually just flip and repeat. Sunny, hot 93 with the heat index again 100 or higher. Tomorrow night, 75 with the overnight low, partly cloudy. Friday, sunny and hot 93, heat index above 100 again. Saturday, which is after the heat advisory at this point, sunny, hot 94 with the heat index 100 to 105 once again for the holiday. So be careful if you're going to be outside. Make sure you drink plenty of fluids. Water would be a pretty good thing, especially cool water. Also check up on the elderly neighbors and your parents if they are still living with us.
Yeah, absolutely do that. FM 102.9, 105.9 AM 1310, News Talk KZRG. Well, President Donald Trump absolutely lambasting big oil, really giving it to gasoline retailers and yelling at them, telling them to lower their prices for Americans. The president took to Truth Social, where he wrote, quote, "Gasoline retailers must get their prices down immediately. They're too high considering that oil is now at $68 a barrel and heading south. The retailers must quickly react to this statement and do what they know is right. Drop your prices for our great American people. There will be no gouging, which is totally illegal. If retailers don't do this, big problems lie ahead."
You know, the gouging, though, kind of started on day one because of we had the Casey's here in the four-state area. They went up almost 80 cents a gallon as soon as the war started. Or the not war, I'm sorry.
Not a war.
The not war
Trump
started.
said it's not a war.
They went up 80 cents a gallon and did it in less than, say, 3 hours.
Yeah, seemingly.
Why is it taking so much longer since the prices are now gone back to what they were before the war, not war? Why not get them back down to that level?
Yeah, for gas companies, it takes days, possibly hours, for their prices to react when it gets more expensive and months to react when it gets less expensive.
Yeah, that's gouging.
It's very frustrating, and the president is tired of it. I'm going to continue reading his Truth Social post here. Continuing on, he said, quote, "Start targeting around $2.50 a gallon number, and California should stop charging such heavy taxes on their gasoline. Soon, the California gas tax will be higher than the product itself, and the United States will not stand for it, nor will the people of California who are being abused by these ridiculous taxes and their own government." President Donald J. Trump, end quote. That's his whole little Truth Social.
Well, California has to pay for all the illegals, amenities like health care, places to live, et cetera. They got to get it somehow.
And that's expensive.
Oh,
I mean, come on, yeah. But no, Steve, I totally agree with your comment. It's so frustrating seeing our prices go up for what's going on in the Middle East, which brings us to this point. KZRG News Time, 8:45, a point that I have been making for months now, ever since the not war in Iran has kicked off. It is so nice that Americans are now energy independent thanks to Donald Trump. We are. Not only are we energy independent thanks to Donald Trump, we are actually globally energy dominant thanks to President Donald Trump. But what was it all for if our prices still go up? My understanding of the whole point of being energy independent is that our gas prices are independent from what is happening in the Middle East. Why? Because we produce our own oil. We have our own drills. We have our own refineries. We have our own apparatus for gasoline. We are completely independent from what is going on anywhere else on planet Earth. So anytime some conflict pops off anywhere else in the world, as long as it's not physically in the US of A, we are independent from that. That to me was what the whole point of the goal of being independent was. And if that's not what's happening, then what was the point of becoming energy independent?
Well, the
bragging rights, to pat ourselves on the back, to put it on our LinkedIn? What was the point?
But the excuses are that we're selling our oil to those that are not getting their oil through the Middle East right now. So that's taking oil from our places and sending it or elsewhere.
That's exactly right. And the excuse is, well, oil's a global market. And so just because we don't get our oil from the Middle East, Asia does, Europe does, Africa does. They didn't suddenly stop driving cars. They didn't suddenly shut down all their factories. So they need to get oil from somewhere. And if it's not from the Middle East, well, suddenly it's from American refineries. And I'm glad to see that American businesses are turning a huge profit. I'm glad to see that they're killing it right now. But American people, us citizens, we the people, are now competing for our own oil against Asia, against Europe, against Africa. It seems to me like the only people winning in this whole energy dominant situation that America now has are not we the people, but instead American big oil. And listen, I have no beef against capitalism. I have no problem turning a profit. But that oil is Americans' oil. And it seems like everyone else is getting first dibs on it but us.
We should be charging the oil companies for getting it out for us.
Right,
and
exactly.
Giving it to somebody else.
It is very, very frustrating. And again, if I had to choose between an American big oil company and a Chinese big oil company killing it in the world right now in terms of profits, of course I would choose an American big oil company. But that's not the dichotomy we have. That's not the setup we have. Here's the setup. Would you rather have American big oil companies making a ton of money or American citizens saving a ton of money? I would rather have the latter. I think we the people have at least some sort of right to this oil because it is ours. And the big oil companies, they're the ones that get to turn all the profit. And even President Donald Trump is getting sick of it. Even him, Mr. Business, Mr. Capitalism, Donald Trump, said that we big oil companies need to start dropping their prices because it's getting ridiculous.
Oh, it's very ridiculous. I mean, the lowest price I've seen so far was, I believe, $3.16.9 a gallon. I believe that's the lowest I've seen. There may have been one that was at $3.12.9.
And I get why Trump is getting frustrated. He's like, dude, I am bending over backwards to get these crude oil prices down. And it seems like the only people that are taking note of it are the oil companies. Why aren't American citizens more appreciative of my work? And I'll tell you why. Because American citizens aren't seeing those savings because the gas companies aren't lowering their prices yet.
I know one of the excuses could be it costs more because they're still using the expensive fuel to transport the lower price oil and gas to the stations.
Oh, interesting. Then how come I'm sure that is their excuse, and it probably is. But again, the point that you brought up earlier, why is it when crude oil gets expensive, the price immediately skyrockets for citizens in this country, but when it gets less expensive, it takes 3 to 6 months to actually hit the market?
Yeah, at least 3 to 6 months.
You got to pick a lane here. Either your company is has this incredibly robust ability to be able to move light on your feet and change prices on a dime, or it takes 3 to 6 months. You don't get it one way when it profits big oil and the other way when it profits big oil. You got to pick one lane, I think.
That would be great, but that's not what they're doing, and that's the way President Trump is calling them out for it.
And President Trump's absolutely calling them out for it. I'm glad he is. Good for him. Good for good old DJT. KZRG News Time 8:50.
And now, KZRG's Big Three on News Talk KZRG.
Number 3.
They are calling her the sole survivor. Republican Representative Lauren Boebert snagged the Republican primary win after running unopposed. She is the only Republican firebrand that had highly publicized disagreements with President Trump and actually made it out politically unscathed.
Number 2.
84-year-old Nancy Guthrie, the mother of Today's Show co-host Savannah Guthrie, still missing. Now the FBI claims that 3 highly publicized ransom notes that they received from Nancy's alleged kidnappers were all fake. A second law enforcement source familiar with the matter confirmed the FBI's assessment.
Number 1.
Former Southeast Kansas Sheriff Deputy Garrett Gaiasco of Baxter Springs pled guilty to 1 count of production of child pornography. The 25-year-old allegedly groomed a 16-year-old girl online and convinced her to send him nudes. These crimes took place between 2024 and 2025.
Now, the KZRG question of the day.
What are your thoughts on the FIFA World Cup games going on right now? We want to know. Go to KZRG's Facebook page. Text us at 417-782-1310 or leave us an open mic message on the KZRG app. Chris Plant joining us at 9. Clay Travis and Buck Sexton at 11. Sean Hannity at 2. Mark Levin at 5. And The Vince Show coming to you live every single weeknight at 8 on FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310. News Talk KZRG. Good morning.
Here is your KZRG